promise to help each other, celebrate the joys of life, and to console each other in
Hello, I am sorry, but I must interrupt this show. Later, you know what it is. Hey, ham solo. It's time, baby. Low, it's time how we do. Hey. They said we said we hit. They said we said we on. They said we said we strong. They said we said we go. We say that you heard right. 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 They said we said we in. They said we said we on. They said we said strong. They said we said go. We say that you heard right. We say that you heard right. We say that you heard right. We say that you man. I swear that it's imminent. I've been going so hard on my penmanship. About to go in and buy me a wheel. And I pull that shit fresh off the dealership. I can leave you on red like an Xbox. Got me laughing at you like you red fox. Got you chasing Hot Wheels like a matchbox. EA running the game and it don't stop. Super cold like I'm playing for Blizzard. Cut you all in my sights like Red Dead Redemption. Never gonna slip on my pimpin'. Better get out my way, bitch, I'm on a mission. Really ain't no competition. I'm steady grilling opposition. I'm get up and ready to win. They can play it how they play, but fuck what you say. I'm getting this money today. Last of us like a dying breed. Down the ride like a noble steed. Fatality moves, I make it bleed. That's on any game, that's on any screen. Shut up and give me your money. They said we so lit. Even if I take an L, we coming back just to show that we don't quit. They said we said we hit. They said we said we on. They said we said we strong. They said we said.
And he licks them too.
Yeah, so I have a huge physical game collection. Like 7 games. I, s- I started when I was just a baby, so fresh out on the planet. Yeah.
Fake African.
Is he in Texan too, a Texan too?
Nah, Irish,
All
Irish,
live
Irish.
in Texas.
Oh, right, okay.
But look at that accent. Where's that accent? He is a fake accent.
Which accent? The Irish accent or
All of your
the
accent.
Yeah, it's a weird mixture of everything. I think people who I grew up with, so it never comes across as it's always hard to pinpoint. But I think if you see me talk to like a Nigerian, it'll come out. You tell certain tones, and if you see me talk to an Irish person, it'll also come out. So it just depends who I'm talking to sometimes.
Mhm.
Hey, there you go.
What? Yeah. Yes, absolutely. I had a good week. I'm excited for the holiday and time off. That's about it. I work too much.
Proud of you.
Woo woo. Yo, Donnie.
Oh, yeah, Ham did say he'll try to be here, but he might be late. So,
He
just
has
a
a
heads up to
hangover
everyone.
confirmed.
Yo, buddy, what have I been playing? It hasn't changed much, I'll tell you, since Monday. It's Indiana Jones. I'm taking my sweet time with that game. I plan to 100% it. I know there's some stuff that I missed in the first area, but good news is I can go back to the different areas once you beat the game and everything. So once I actually finish the story, which again I'm taking my time on, I'll go back and clean things up, and I'm going to try to 100% that. But that's what I've been playing. That game's amazing. Yes, yes.
Whoop whoop. Yeah, I claimed it.
I have been playing Silent Hill 2.
Ooh,
Still working
scary.
on that. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I'll 100% it, but I might try for a couple of different endings anyway. I've been really enjoying it. It's a good game. And I spend way too much time just kind of checking every nook and cranny though, so it always takes me too long to get through these things as a result. And yeah, that's probably why I won't try and 100% it, I guess, if that makes any sense. I've already put a lot of time into it.
That's fair enough.
Whoop whoop.
It's a good game.
Uh-oh. What?
So we can hear you and they can't?
Okay. I mean, but who wants to hear you?
That's a fair point. I'll tell you. Kind of spitting a little bit.
Yeah, it says you're offline. But anyways, yeah, I've been playing Metaphor still. Dope game.
Wait, what game?
Metaphor Refantasio.
Oh.
Metaphor. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
I
a
didn't
really
The Irish
understand you
accent
with your
threw me off.
accent.
That's probably it. It's such a good game. It's giving me Xenoblade Chronicles vibe from a story perspective, so I'm kind of liking that angle a little bit. There's a lot to enjoy. I think the characters are starting to grow on me a lot more as well as you progress through the story. Because that was my initial complaint, that the characters just felt a little bit. They weren't as good as what I was getting in Persona. I don't think they're there yet, but a lot of these bonding moments, like the Japanese know how to create these moments where you all come together as a team and everyone's sad and everyone prevails with friendship, and it just kind of it brings a tear to your eye, and it really just kind of makes you love these characters. So um so yeah, I'm enjoying
Metaphor.
that. Yeah, Metaphor, really really good game. I mean, we'll get into it later on, but like it didn't win game of the year, and I was I don't know, I was a bit
All right, all
shocked.
right. Save your tears. Save your tears
Mm-hmm.
for the appropriate segment. All right.
Will do.
Uh, Yo, Daddy says the Mozambican government is silencing my boy. Nah, I'm back. I'm back. Chat, please confirm if you can hear my voice. Please confirm.
I mean, he's out of their
Ostrich.
jurisdiction.
God, God damn
Chat.
it.
And I'll throw it out there because they could hear me. I'll say, chat, can you hear Loke now?
Yeah.
Because with you saying it, they wouldn't have heard
Oh,
you. Right?
okay. We can hear him now. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Perfect.
Appreciate you,
Oh.
Yo, Daddy. Appreciate you.
I apologize that you can hear him now.
Yeah, same.
Wow. Wow. Ushers, what have you been playing this past week and how are you?
Oh crap! Am I on? I didn't think I was on. What
Put
have
your
I
pants
been
back
playing?
on.
Yeah, I was just about to. I've been playing a lot of PC games. So I told you guys
Oh,
that
look at
I
you
was
thinking
getting
you're
a
better than the
PC.
rest of us.
Yeah, I've joined the master race. I've left you console peasants
I don't
behind.
think it's possible if you're really. Never mind.
Not that master race. I'm talking about the PC master race.
Oh my god.
What?
Yeah.
Ushers,
I'm
strike
kidding.
one.
I'm kidding.
Strike
Jeez.
one, bruv.
No, that was Cozy. That was not me. She said it was.
You leaned in. Too much there. Cozy chucks the bait in. You're supposed to keep it together. All right.
I
Don't lean
know.
in. All right.
Yeah.
What have you been playing?
So I've actually been trying just some of the games like Doom Eternal, just to test my graphics card out, and I've also been
Beautiful.
trying games like, yeah, definitely, like the older Dragon Ages. Like I was just seeing, like, what Inquisition looks like on PC versus Xbox 360. So yeah, it's just going over my library and seeing, like, how my console games handle my new PC. So
Shut up.
I'm really
You're
having fun.
playing. No, no, no. This guy's playing the old Dragon Age games so he can give credence to or more weight to his grifting when he's talking shit about Dragon Age Veilguard. That's all he's
That's
doing.
not.
Don't let him fool you. All right. He just wants to crap on Veilguard. Cozy,
Yeah.
what have you
Yes.
been playing this past week?
Just Overwatch.
Have you tried
Brotato
Marvel
and
Rival?
I don't like Marvel.
All right. Okay. Got
Overwatch, Brotato, and Helldivers. Just the regular comfort games. Once I'm about to have like pretty much 2 weeks, and then I'm gonna be playing everything.
nice. Nice. I've been playing Indiana Jones
Nice.
and Starfield. That's pretty much it. All right. So let's get into it. The first topic today, obviously, is not about the Game Awards. Cozy brought this one up, and I thought I agree with her that it's an interesting conversation for us to have. Um, this is from PC Gamer. So indie game site itch.io temporarily taken down by Funko due to AI powered brand protection company that created some bogus phishing report. Cozy,
Yes.
please lead us and tell us what caught your eye on this one.
What caught my eye is like, so a lot of people who will put their games up on here even even if they're trying to get them out on Steam, they put them up here, and or test their games out on here, and indie, like small, like solo devs and such. And so it's kind of scary that, they're just like, let's take, look at, not even examine the report, and take things down, not even using legitimate reporting, just like, oh.
Part of the
Does
Also,
AI
does-
takeover.
Sorry, I'm confused. Who took down the site?
they use just like the standard, like, method to take down sites, but they were using a fraudulent kind of like phishing methods to be like, oh, copyright infringement, essentially.
Okay, what's
It's
the
like a
problem exactly?
There was nothing. They didn't have a legitimate reason.
Okay,
it's
is there a
the
reason why
AI
they did it?
incorrect. Yeah, their AI that they use incorrectly identified a copyright infringement and
Oh, okay.
put out a copyright notice to the I guess the web hosting company, and the web hosting company took it down, if I remember the article correctly.
So no one reported it. It was the AI that identified.
Yeah, the AI found it and took it
Okay.
down. That's what kind of makes it controversial. No human involvement.
And it makes it kind of scary, because it's sort of like, they're big enough to what you call it, but imagine you were like a small individual and someone did this to you, and you didn't have the time or resources to be like, hey,
to fight it.
to fight it.
Yep. It's not
I mean,
good.
you would just make a claim that, like, no, this is incorrect, right? Because I don't think, for example, if somebody hits me on YouTube, it doesn't matter if it's AI or somebody else. I could just instantly say, no, you're incorrect, and then we go back and forth, right? But as soon as it hits AI, a human being should be like contacted and say, yo, AI said this, this person is saying it's wrong. And then the human being should probably look at it and say, yeah, this is incorrect. AI got it messed up. And that's it. Like the story should end, which is probably what happened here. I'm not saying this is good, but I think because we're using AI more and more, we should expect these things to happen as AI improves.
My crazier was the communication back and forth also with the AI, an AI chatbot.
That would suck.
Well, and that's
That would-
that's
I
That's
can't
what it
remember. I read
sucks.
this a while ago, but
Yeah, that's really
Yeah, I
bad.
mean
That
that's
that should never happen.
like I'm convinced that the one and only time I asked for a refund from Microsoft, that it was purely an AI that I was communicating with, because there was no reasoning with it. Like there was no logic involved at all. Uh,
Damn.
Even though I pointed out clearly I had never in my life asked for a refund before, it told me I'd had too many refunds. And I'm like, what part of never having had one before do you not understand, right? So then when I phoned Microsoft and I was actually talking to a human that unfortunately couldn't do anything about it and had no way of contacting anyone in that area, and I'm assuming that's because they were AI and there's no way to really contact them. The individual's like, yeah, I said, like, this is the response I got. I've had too many refunds this year, even, it was saying, and I haven't had a refund in 20 years. But can you show me which refunds I had this year? Because I can't see them on my account. And they're like, no, you're right. You've never had a refund. And I'm like, yeah. So can you put me in touch with someone that can fix this? No. Oh.
That's
So
Sounds
a
about
very
right.
negative
that sounds
experience.
terrible.
Yes. This is a
That
couple of
sounds
years back. It was actually me contacting them on behalf of my son that accidentally bought some stuff that he already had on Xbox. He didn't realize, like, my son's got some issues, I'll just
mm-hmm.
say, and his reading skills weren't anywhere near his age.
Mm.
And with his ADHD and stuff, he was going through and didn't realize I had put money in his account. He spent all his money in like 2 minutes thinking it was just Game Pass stuff he was getting.
Oof.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
So yeah, it was. I was quite annoyed with that. But anyway, that's
Yeah.
my experience, and I'm sure it was an AI. That
I mean, that makes
100%.
sense. That checks out. Having worked in a lot of those jobs that also had AI implementation, when the person would call you, you'd just be like, "Oh yeah, I see." I get. It's also because they don't really have good AI a lot of times for those. Like if you
Yeah,
just took like your best like customer service employees and you're like, "Hey, your job is now to train these AIs," you'd probably get
It,
a lot better results.
yeah.
it,
But
Well,
there's
essentially,
also a certain amount of on the fly thinking that an AI isn't just doing.
so
yeah,
so we're,
and
we're essentially gonna have to like test pilot and be the guinea pigs for the next generation.
It's gonna
No, the
happen
next
for a very long
generation
time, though.
will probably just be trained to accept it.
No, I think no AI is definitely
Yeah.
improving. I know I was like in one of my old companies. I was like one of the guys. He was helping train the AI, and he told me straight up, he's like, this shit has improved. Like it's gotten so much better. Like the mistakes are getting less and less and less. And he was just saying, like, in this industry, it's probably going to take over in like 10 years because there's no real point. When it says take over, it means like you're going to probably see 70% of staff just get eradicated because AI is doing that. So I don't think we're going to have to get used to it per se. Like, yeah, we are the test subjects, but the quality is just going to get so much better that we probably won't really notice the difference. And even probably with call centers, the truth is most of the complaints are probably very same, like, somebody wants to return something, somebody says this is broken, so the AI is probably taking that feedback and it's probably just going to improve and improve. Like you might not even know it now, but 2 years ago you knew you were talking to an AI, but 2 years later you don't think you're talking to an AI just because they've improved
yeah.
that
This
much.
was for clarity. It was all through email. Like I used their online form. That was the only
Mm.
way you could get a hold of anyone in refunds at the time. I don't know if that's changed. And then I got an email response within an hour telling me I'd exceeded my refund limits for the year. And I'm like, but I've never done this before. Replied back, and all you can do is appeal once. The appeal that I had to wait then was like a month. And then, of course, it came back saying, nope, same problem, too many refunds. And I'm like, did you read anything? I
Damn.
like it was so obvious it didn't read or comprehend anything I'd wrote in the email. So I phoned customer service at that point, and their only advice was, well, resubmit the request. I'm like, okay. So I do that, and I knew right away this wasn't going to work. Within an hour, I got the response saying it's been more than 30 days. And it's like, yeah, because that's what I was waiting for you for like 6 weeks to respond to my appeal. Anyway, it was just insane. I was one angry person. That's all I can say. And I mean, it's like not like it's all the money in the world, but it's $50, and to my kid, that's a lot of money that he had to
Yeah.
buy stuff with, right? So
Yeah.
anyway,
It's also the
Anyways.
principle.
Yeah,
it's
it's the
principle
principle
of the
of
whole
it.
thing.
Mm,
And he even
mm.
bought stuff. This was what was kind of surprising. He bought stuff because his account's pretty locked down for his age range. He was allowed to buy stuff outside of his age range, which bothered me too. And they, of course, didn't address that at all. So, anyway.
All's well that ends well. At least for this indie game. It didn't
Yeah.
end well for you.
No, not
No.
a game. This is a game site.
Oh, it's the whole site that was down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, so it's a good thing that they're back because indies are the lifeblood of the video game industry, as we shall find out during this podcast.
Look, I don't know if you have time, but I sent you. I mean, we could just skip over it, but I sent you a link to an AI clip of the Will Smith version with the spaghetti. It's like 40 seconds long, and you see him, you see the first AI version of Will Smith, eating spaghetti, and everyone is saying, "Oh, it's stupid, it's dumb." But then you look at the 2024 version, and there's such a stark difference in quality. They
Where'd
jumped
you send it?
yeah, on the IVX to your private
The private
channel.
chat.
Yeah,
All right.
and it's such a jump in quality.
We'll look at it if we have time.
Sure.
Oshus keeps like coming in and out. I don't understand what's happening. Oshus, what's up with your internet, bruv? What's going on? All right. Anyone have anything else to add yet on the AI stuff? Take that as a no. Yordani says there were those chat bots with dumb AI when it was all the rage. Raichi says Skynet is closer. Guys, stop with all the positivity. Stop it.
One step closer to the downfall. Let's go.
Listen, all I can say about the downfall of humanity is that everything with a beginning has an end. That's
It
that's
sure
all.
does, bud. And we're right on the precipice. Let's go.
I don't know how close we are. I don't know how close we are, but definitely everything with a beginning has an end. So the Game Awards. Did you guys watch them?
You're goddamn right I watched them.
Yeah, I watched
Every
it.
last miserable minute.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. It wasn't that bad.
I'm becoming cozy beluga.
What? I didn't
Because
watch it.
yeah, I also didn't watch it. Like I wanted to watch it today after leaving work. And then I got home and I was like, I got some snacks. I was like, okay, let's watch this. Let's go on. It's just probably an hour 30 minutes.
No,
Guys.
no, it's not.
No.
Nope.
When I clicked
Way
on
off.
YouTube, I was like 3 hours.
And it's mostly stuff
Yeah.
I don't
It
care
was
about.
longer than 3 hours too, by the way. It's like
You didn't
4
watch
hours.
the pre-show stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I skipped.
That
I
was
skipped.
4 hours, man.
I skipped the motherfucking pre-show. I was just looking at just the game. Sorry, just the Game Awards themselves. It was about 3 hours. I was like, dude, come on. No, I'm not doing it, and I didn't
That
do
was
it.
crazy.
Ty, Oshus, did you guys watch the Game Awards or just look at the recap?
Oh, of course I watched it. It was good.
Yeah, I
Alright.
watched. It was okay. Like I'm not crazy about the Game Awards, so yeah, it
Yeah.
was too long in my opinion. It's just who has 3 hours to just
Too
watch
long.
trailers?
Pause.
Way too long.
Let's rate it 0 to 10. Round the table, Matt.
0 to 10 for the Game Awards. I mean, I almost feel bad giving it a high score because I don't like the Game Awards. Like, I like the stuff that happens at the Game Awards, the announcements, but the Game Awards, if I'm rating the Game Awards, A 5 or 6, maybe. I don't know.
5 out of 10. Because the first word is the one that you actually mean.
Yeah,
5
yeah,
out of 10
5.
from
We'll go
man.
5. Yeah, 5.
Sunrash, welcome in. Sunrash says 6 out of 10. Okay. Tai, out of 10.
Um, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10.
7.
Yeah, I would give it an 8, but personally, there wasn't enough there for me in terms of games that I like for me to give it that score. But overall, it was a really good production.
Give it the good old IGN 7. Let's go. Mike Johnson, welcome in, says 10 out of 10.
There you go.
I'm guessing it was a good showcase
Someone's
for
pumped.
PlayStation, Mike, because we all know which
It was
direction
a
you lean in.
it was a momentous occasion for PlayStation.
Yeah, the PlayStation Awards. That's what I call them. Oshus,
I'd
out of
give it.
10.
Mm, I'd give it 4 Jeff Keighley's out of 10.
That's a 4 out of 10. Okay. At least you got to get a lot of cozy. That's something. 4 out of 10. All right, cozy.
I didn't watch it.
You know what? In keeping
Still
with the
got it rated.
spirit, in keeping with the spirit of the Game Awards, where you bring a whole bunch of people to sit there and grade and award games, even though they haven't played all the games in the world, cozy, rate the show you didn't even watch.
A -3 out of 10.
It's not
It
bad.
failed
That
to
works.
capture my attention.
That works. That works.
It's a fair
Mental,
criticism.
out of 10.
I will say it's probably better than most game awards. Maybe the best one that I've seen. So I'll give it a 3. No, I'm just kidding. Probably about a 7. I'm gonna go with the 7 as well. I thought it was pretty
7.
good. There was, I mean, a lot of crap I'm not interested in that was shown. And the
Mm.
awards stuff isn't why we watch it. I mean, let's face it, who cares about that? It's all about the trailers that we see and what's coming. So, in terms of
Some
what's
people care
coming,
about
there's
the awards.
probably a good half dozen games that I'm rather interested in. So,
I used to care about the awards, man. Come on. All right.
Yeah, but nobody does. No.
It's a 7 out of 10 from Mental. So X-Man celebrates 17 whole months. Gives us a member chat, says better format, but the Sony corporate was in 6 out of 100. Damn. Damn. Okay. Okay. All right. So before we get into the minutia of it, again, let's look at the big stuff. All right, the big stuff. Matt, what was the high
No.
point? What was the low point, in your opinion, of the Game
The
Awards?
well, I can tell you the low point was all that anime shit. Like there was
here,
there was
here.
there was like, dude, I was watching this with my buddy Mike and Vinny, and there was a point where I thought Mike was gonna just have a nervous breakdown, uh, and I was right there with him because I swear, every award show, or not award show, forget award show, every game show that there
Yeah.
is, I swear Hoyoverse shows up and they show the same two games every fucking show. No matter what show it is, wherever the show is, they show up and they show the same two games every single time. And then they also show a bunch of other games that look exactly like those games. And I'm just I, my mind shuts off. I just open my phone and I just look at other things while that's happening. That was the low point. High point, God, it's kind of tough because there was a lot of really cool shit here. Um, high point, God, I'm gonna try to go something different that I think nobody else will probably say. I'm gonna go Outer
Okay.
Worlds 2, just because I did not expect that to be 2025.
Wait,
I
what?
was Outer Worlds 2 is
Oh,
2025.
it's
Um,
Sidian though.
yeah. So I didn't expect 2025. I thought like that was like 2026 or something. So seeing Outer
Yeah,
Worlds
because the
2
Avowed's
there,
coming out next year, right?
yes, Avowed and Outer Worlds 2 are coming out the same year. So that's my big moment from the show, even though there's a lot of big moments. So
All right.
I mean, I
Right.
expected. I didn't know when it was coming out, but I would have expected that because Obsidian has been always had good turnaround time, and they've done impressive things with even small teams. So
well, I definitely did not expect it.
Grounded was like 12 people.
It was. It definitely was.
The reason I was sure that we weren't going to get Outer Worlds now is because of what Matt said, because of Worlds coming out this like next year. So I was like, why would they? Nah, it's not happening.
Two
It's not
different games, and they can do it. That's the Obsidian magic is them just being able to get games out.
Well, they
Also,
can
those
definitely
games
do
are
it.
quite small. Not Avowed is probably Obsidian's biggest game, but Outer Worlds 2 is probably just a little bit smaller, so it's probably more in the AA section. So I think it makes sense that it could come out.
There are games that are way less impressive that take way longer.
Yeah. I mean,
I think Outer Worlds 2 was announced in was it 2020? It was at the showcase, right? 2020 or
it
2021.
was either
right?
2020 or 2021. I want to say
Yeah.
it might have been 2020. I can't remember.
Yeah, so that's like 5 years then. I mean,
It's
yeah,
one of
I mean,
those.
it's a AA game. It should be out. If it's taking longer than that, then you're probably expecting something that's more Fable-like in terms of quality.
Yeah, it was announced as an Xbox exclusive. Surprise!
No,
surprise.
it was announced as it was coming to PlayStation.
No,
Not when it
it
was
was
announced.
as an Xbox
An
exclusive.
exclusive.
But I'm pretty sure like within, I don't know, a year they came out and said that's definitely coming to PlayStation.
No, I don't think so.
No,
I'm pretty
I
sure.
don't
I'm
remember
pretty
that.
sure they did. I'm pretty sure
No.
because I'm pretty sure this was a big news point like a couple of years ago when everybody found out, and then they're like, "Oh my god, I can't believe Outer Worlds is coming to PlayStation." It's like,
No, I don't. I mean, I didn't hear
No.
that.
The original was on PlayStation, but the second game, I almost am 100% sure it was announced as an exclusive.
Yeah.
I'm
You-
glad
Actually,
it's
so, yeah.
available to everyone to play.
Ugh.
Yeah,
What?
either way, I really couldn't care. But I swear I remember this being a talking point like a couple
Because
years
like
ago.
I like the first one. I want the second one to be available to everyone to play.
I don't care about peasants anymore.
That's a love-limited take.
Guy,
Rosie.
look at this guy. So
I mean, this is
Bad
this is always what happens when people discover computers.
Yeah,
listen,
there's that period of time where you get a little bit.
I'm sorry. I've always had access to a gaming PC, so I don't understand.
Oh my god. Okay. Sir X-Men says he only cared about Onimusha, Way of the Sword, and
That looked cool.
Borderlands 4.
Onimusha.
Sunrise said we didn't see Pissa in full effect.
Yeah, the
Mike
first
Johnson comes in here to defend his Pissa, says it's in good, is doing excellent. Go ahead, Mental.
first trailer was 2021, but at that time apparently
Okay.
there was no real work that had been done on the game. Like even the trailer, if you remember it, it was quite comical because it was
Yes.
talking about now you got to have a big boss that you'll never see in the actual game and stuff, right?
Oh yeah, I
It
remember.
was
Come
very
on.
funny. It
I
made
hope
me
they
laugh.
actually put it in the game.
Yeah, it was interesting
The humor,
back then.
the human
but-
Outer Worlds is awesome. But yeah, definitely Mental. Well, the first announcement was only Xbox.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the next Halo game to have like the PlayStation logo right there. Bam! Right there.
Yeah, and it,
I
at
can't
the
wait
very
either.
People
worst,
still
it was
playing Halo
for-
will be really upset.
All the what?
All 5 people still playing Halo will be really
Oh,
upset.
cut the cap, Cozy. Cut the cap. Halo is over 5K on a Wednesday. On a Wednesday, there's over 5,000 people playing on Steam. We're not even talking about Xbox. We're talking about freaking Steam. So chill. All right. Chill your tits. It's a lot of people playing Halo Infinite. All right. Anyways, Batai, what's your high point? What's your low point of the Game Awards?
I think there's a few high points. I think Onimusha, I can't mispronounce it, was good.
Onimusha.
Onimusha, I think
Onimusha.
Virtua
Looked
Fighter
sick.
4, making an appearance
Oh,
was
yeah.
also good as well. That was really nice.
I said one,
I know, I know. I'm just
the high point and the low point. It's not for you to give us the whole breakdown, brother.
let me just take over real quick. I'll say that the highest point was actually the production of the show itself. I think Jeff has listened to the feedback. When it comes to advertising, there was crazy advertising a few years back. That's gone now. When it comes to the actual the puppets, the Muppets, all those things, the way they were talking. In the previous years, they sucked. They were cringe. They were boring. Whatever you want to call it. Now they're actually effective. They were actually funny. So I
Yeah,
think
they kind of cooked.
it was really really good. Him taking that all everyone's critique. Hey, you're Paige, you're this, you're a Sony fanboy, and him just throwing it back at people. I thought that was great.
Yeah,
So
he
I
leaned
actually said that
into
was
it.
a highlight. The worst part of the show is I'm almost tempted to say all the the Eastern games from Hoyoverse as well because
Yeah.
it just felt the same. It was like okay, I feel like I've seen this like like 10 minutes ago.
Yep.
Probably the lowest part of it was I don't know. It's a hard one, but yeah, I'll probably just say all the Asian games that look alike. It just kind of felt a bit off.
I
Pacing
mean,
was off.
that's not new.
Yeah, but it was in
Yeah.
sequence. It was just like, okay, here it
Yeah, it
is,
was
here it is
Exactly.
like
again, here it is
a
again. It's
half an
like,
hour of it.
yeah, it was
It
like,
felt
stop.
like they started showing one game, and then that one game went for like 40 minutes, is what it felt like.
Aw.
And
Yeah.
it was not fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Oshus, high point, low point.
My high point would have to be whatever the former is it the Japan studio guys are working on, the mecha game from the Eco and the Shadow of Colossus guys. That was to me like probably the only thing I was like, okay, that's interesting. This is looks like something that I've never seen before, or it's gonna be something different.
It'll come out
Um,
in the next 30 years.
maybe, maybe. Low point. What is it?
Don't be a
Intergalactic.
grifter. Don't be a grifter. God damn it! Don't be a grifter, motherfucker. Ah,
Let
this
him
guy.
have his opinion, Loke. You calm down, bro.
Intergalactic, Porsche, Adidas, Sony CDs. I was just
Double
like,
down.
come on, like really, like this is so original. Wow,
I saw that trailer and it looked so stale. It was
it's
Cozy,
like,
you're also a grifter. Cozy's a grifter.
it
Cozy
just looks
no,
like
Carter.
a.
no,
No,
no.
these are valid criticism.
I
I'll
just
tell
thought
you,
the game looked so like, someone was like, what was cool? These things and these things and these things, these
Thank you,
tropes.
Cozy.
They were
Thank you,
like
Cozy.
literally just took a bunch of tropes and was just
Anyone
like,
that shits,
bam.
anyone
oh,
that shits on intergalactic is a bigot, is a racist,
Loke,
is a
shut up.
grifter, is a sexist, is a misogynist, is all of these things.
I'll
Thou
tell
shalt
you,
not criticize.
Yeah,
as
I'm sure.
someone,
Consume the product. You
I
I'm
loved
sure
it. I
can.
thought it looked great.
I'm
sorry.
sure Anita Sarkeesian was proud. I don't know. It just to me, and I said this to Ty as well earlier today that like I'm so over Western CG trailers where it's just someone watched a movie and said, you know what, it would be cool to have my trailer look like this, and there's absolutely nothing that is encompassed that involves the actual interactive medium. And I gave him an example. I say if like Kojima does a CG trailer, it's unlike anything you'll ever see in a movie. It's so different. The concept it speaks so much to the gameplay concept. Whereas this could have just been another Netflix movie or another theatrical release. It's just Guardians slash Akira. It's all the tropes that everyone that's into this
Yep.
stuff will like. It's such bait. So I
And
was
I
like,
think it's like sometimes it just feels like these people, they would make garbage movies. And they have
These
to
people,
acknowledge that so that they make games instead.
y'all are gonna make me defend Neil Druckmann. That's what you guys are about to make me do right now. I hate you guys for this. I hate you guys for this, fellas,
We make you do that.
ladies. There's nothing new under the sun.
No,
This
there is
business
nothing new under the
of
sun. We're not saying it is new. They just use things in the most trite and uninspired way.
Okay, so the issue is not with them using legendary IP or scenes, etc., as inspiration. The issue is they did it badly.
Yeah.
I'm
I
just
can get
curious as
behind
to
that.
what's the
I can get
game.
behind that because you guys' first criticism was that they were using past successes as as inspiration. That's what I first got. Now, if you guys are talking about execution and and critiquing execution, that's fine.
I
That's
just
valid. Go ahead,
my
Osh.
whole thing
Osh is the grifter. Go ahead.
my whole thing, look, is that I'm so, and I was saying to Ty like earlier that like I'm so tired of CG trailers for games like as proof of concept. Is like, to me, this is the same reason why, they only show us gameplay 6 months before the game comes out, and then there's a huge backlash against the actual gameplay. Now they can't change anything because they're locked in, because all they've been showing us for like 5 years is just CG stuff that is not representative of the actual game. This is an interactive medium. Show us gameplay, even if
Hmm.
it's early gameplay or it's gameplay that is a concept in development, but at least show us what you're working for. If you get negative feedback, at least you know what to work on. Now we're just watching a trailer. Like, it's just another movie thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
of course I disagree with all of that.
Let's
um,
go.
the
We haven't even
trailers,
gotten into the awards. We haven't even gotten into the trailers themselves. But okay, go ahead, Ty.
the trailers are meant for a specific group of people who are excited and want some kind of hype trailer or hype video to kind of to kind of push them along onto the release date, right? So I was mentioning Starfield before, right? The first Starfield trailer doesn't have any gameplay, doesn't have anything. However, it shows you that this is NASA Punk. It shows you the clutter on the tables. It shows you the kind of suit you'll be wearing, and that gives you enough vibe. So even with this new Druckmann trailer, you can already tell, like, okay, the protagonist is going to be a female. She's going to be a black person. She's going to have bald hair. You could tell like it's going for some kind of Akira kind of style and look. Okay, you're gonna have a spaceship. You're gonna have Nikes, so it has a cool vibe. Also, she has a sword that also glows in the dark. Like the trailer itself is the concept. It's this is what we're making. To the developers out there, if you like what you see, come through. To the players out there, now you guys can go on a Reddit, on a Facebook, and you guys could talk about this shit for hours with your friends and say that you can debate. I gave Eldering as an example before as to how, and once we found out that George R. R. Martin was gonna be writing that story, you just go on the Reddit page and it's hundreds of people coming through, gossiping, talking about, okay, what do we expect? Okay, what do we know about Game of Thrones? These are what these trailers are for. These people, the actual gameplay stuff is for everybody else who's casual, who doesn't care about these things, and it's it's the gameplay stuff that's going to tell you to buy the game or not. But the actual CGI stuff is just for the hardcore fans.
All right. Diego de los Rios, buenas noches, buenos dias. We don't know where you're at, so welcome. Cozy.
Yes.
Well, you didn't watch the show, so I'm just gonna skip you.
No.
I'm just gonna skip you.
My
Mental.
highlight. Okay.
Okay,
My
go ahead.
highlight was not watching this show,
Let's go. Let's
and
go.
my what you call it
I'm
was
with you on that one.
my what's the opposite of highlight?
Low light.
The low light.
The low light was that I had to wade through a lot of unnecessary talk to finally find an article that just got to the point and showed the announcements.
Cozy, I swear to God, right now you're trying to trigger me. You are trying to trigger me. It's called IGN. Everyone knows what it's called, Cozy. Just go to
IGN is a little
IGN
too chatty.
and
Yeah, IGN kind
everything
of
is
sucks.
It's
God
the
But
damn
yeah,
it.
they suck and too much other unnecessary. Just tell me, hey, here's the game announced. Here's a game announced. I don't
All right,
care about
Cozy.
like
yeah,
All right, Cozy. Which site
yes.
did you find that gave you a more comprehensive breakdown than motherfucking IGN?
I think I use digital trends.
yeah. Digital Trends was really good.
It
That's
was
actually the
short.
website I'm on right now. Is Digital Trends. Yeah.
Fuck.
He's seething. Hear his breath. You can hear him breathing. Look at him. He's like trying to calm himself down. He's like, woosah.
That is hilarious that
Uh,
you said digital trends because I literally just I brought that up to make my video earlier. So
you know what? Just so you guys know, digital trends is probably going to get acquired by IGN at some point. So you know
that's
what? Y'all
fine,
can
but
cope.
for now they're
Y'all
still
can cope.
good.
Y'all can. Oh,
That's
Shots
right.
fired.
damn!
Shots fired. Is everybody okay?
Man, man, I thought
I
we
mean,
were boys.
we could talk about what might happen at some point,
God
but the
damn.
fact is, right now, digital trends is pretty good.
Okay, okay, mental Nina, please save me right now. Save me. What was your high point and your low point from the Game Awards? Because I'm dead. I am dead right now.
Well, low point is definitely all the yeah, same as Matt. I don't need to say anymore. But yeah, there was a really long run of games I'm completely uninterested in. It went on for a half hour or more. I don't know, but there was that high point. I was pretty happy to see the Outer Worlds 2, and I really did enjoy the first one a lot. So there was that, and then other than that, probably The Witcher. I think looked really cool. So
Oof, yeah.
yeah, it was an
Let's
interesting
talk
show.
about The
I
Witcher.
actually did a live
Actually, you know
stream
what?
with the guys over at LTRE, so that was kind of
LTI.
fun. They were
Nice.
doing it that way.
Okay, so those are the high points. Those are the low points, and also the ratings. Now we're going with the full list of awards winners because I feel like we're definitely going to spend most of our time talking about the announcements themselves. So
Yeah.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to run through the award winners. If you guys have a specific category that you would like to speak on or talk about, go ahead, and then just say something, and then I'll pause. If not, we're just gonna keep it pushing. All right, ready? Three, two, one, go. Game of the year, Astrobot. My fucking god! What in the blue hell?
What are
What
you telling me that Astrobot? Are you telling
what
me that
amount
Astrobot doesn't deserve Game of the Year
what
over
amount of cocaine
over
does
Matt?
one have to be sniffing?
Oh my
Like,
god!
how drunk do you have to be? How how lost as a gamer do you have to be to pick
Sorry, I'm
Astrobot?
not sure. Sorry, just for context, did you like that choice or didn't you like the choice?
It
I
is
think he liked it.
it is terrible. Okay, this
I think he
choice,
liked it.
like the only two choices worse than Astrobot was the fucking DLC, right? This would have been horrible, and the card game.
Can,
And
can
I understand. Let me finish. I
yeah, yeah.
understand that Palatro is very addictive. I've spoken to some people in the community that actually played it after they criticized it, and they were like, "Yo, this game is legit," which is fine. Elden Ring's a DLC. Astrobot, I mean, I played it. It's fine, right? It's pretty good. But again, I go back to the point that I mentioned to Ham the last time we were talking about this. The game of the year should not be reserved for, oh, that's pretty good. That's not, this is supposed to be, right? Quote unquote, the best of the best. Balatro should be in the indie scene. Astrobot, platformer scene. All right. Game of the year is the creme de la creme. And I don't understand what happened here. Because Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Metaphor, or Black Myth, any one of those three should have won. Not could have, any one of those three should have won. I'm not saying Astrobot is not a good game. It's just not the best game that has been that came out this year. It's just not. And then you have games like Space Marine 2 that weren't even nominated. Fucking Stellar Cheeks. What are we doing? What are we doing? This was an insane choice, in my opinion. Insane. And obviously, you guys know how I feel about the Game Awards after what happened to Hogwarts Legacy. Because for me, that's when they lost all credibility. Because this is bad, right? This is bad, but you know what? At least Black Myth's on the list. At least Final Fantasy's on the list. At least Metaphor's on the list. Hogwarts Legacy was the biggest, most played single player game in the entire calendar year of 2023. It wasn't nominated for anything. Anything. This is a game that went toe to toe with motherfucking Call of Duty as a single player game. Didn't get one nomination. So I'm not trying to even add points to the Game Awards in terms of legitimacy of competition. They lost that crown a long time ago. This is bad, but last year was worse. That's what I wanted to end it on. So y'all can go ahead now.
I agree with you. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say like you mentioned Elden Ring and Shadow of the Earth Tree. I when they announced Astrobot one, I was a little bit mad that Elden Ring didn't win. Not because I think it should win or deserves to win, just the fact that you made a rule that DLCs count now for some
Yeah.
reason.
Mm-hmm.
And you took a spot from another game that deserved it. There's a bunch of games that deserve it this year. I personally would have put Dragon's Dogma. You could make a case for Space Marine 2. You make a
Fuck,
case for a
dude, I
lot of games
forgot
this year.
Dragon's Dogma. Yes.
Yeah, but so like a game like that deserved it more than Elden Ring because it's a brand new game that came out this year. But whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
decided to make it DLC and you decided to give it to Elden Ring. So
Yeah.
that's taking up a nomination spot just so Astrobot can win. I mean, if that's the case, don't even include Elden Ring. It shouldn't be there in the first place. Give the nomination to another team, another studio that deserve to be there.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that the fact that Elden Ring was there, I was like, this is stupid. But I almost hope it wins just to justify being there, taking a spot away from somebody. But the
Yeah.
fact that it didn't and it still took a spot away from somebody just kind of pissed me off a little bit.
It stunk. It stunk
Oh,
to
yeah.
high heaven. Ty, I heard you trying to push back on me, so go ahead.
Yeah, I think we all agree that Balatro and Elden Ring probably shouldn't be there.
What? Why Balatro not be there? Why?
It's a card game. Like it's
So
doesn't
it's an insanely popular card game available to everyone, wildly played more than most of these games.
Yeah, so on the face of it, it's a game. So I
Yeah.
agree.
Solitaire
go
was also wildly played, Cozy.
Yeah,
I mean, if they made
A lot
Solitaire
of
this
people
year,
don't
probably would
even
be
like.
probably be there.
Yeah, like you make a new
Like, I-
Solitaire, and it could be there.
Yeah,
I think it's
Oh,
like people just arbitrary. I don't like this game, so it shouldn't be there.
I mean that's all true. I don't think card games like these kind of stuff should really be there. The same way I don't think Elden Ring should be there. However, I think if you are going to include these games, if Balatro was to win it, and even if it gets a nomination, which it did, I would say it's good for the industry. Just simply on the face of it. I remember when It Takes Two on, and I would like tell my friends who are non gamers, and they were shocked that a game like It Takes Two could actually win.
Stop! Get that out of your mouth! Get that out of your mouth! Okay.
Jesus.
To them, it was quite a surprise that we thought the gaming industry was just Call of Duty, shoot 'em ups, etc., etc. So I think it's good that Balatro is there. When it comes to actually the winner, I think Astrobot and Metaphor were clear to win. Any one of those two could have taken it. I disagree that Wukong should have won it, or Stellar Blade, any of these games. These games didn't rank high. They're more or less in the 80s, 81, 82. Whereas Balatros, I think, is in the 90s. Final Fantasy is in the 90s. Metaphor is in the 90s. Um, Astro Boy is in the 90s. In fact, it would actually be shocking that you have all these 90s losing to a game that's only ranked 81%. Like it just wouldn't work. So I think I think Astrobot or Metaphor winning it makes sense. Even if you give it to Final Fantasy, I would have been shocked if Black Myth Wukong won it. Because as much as people bought that game, I don't think anyone thinks that game is that good. I don't think anyone puts Black Myth Wukong in the same category as a Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, God of
I
War,
do.
Black Myth Wukong.
Yep.
It's in the same
Greatest
level
thing
as
since
Zelda.
sliced bread. I don't like Zelda, so yeah.
Yeah, she's not.
I do as well. I think it's a refreshing game.
Really?
This is like when
Absolutely,
someone
in the
says,
concept alone.
this is like when someone puts Guilty Gear next to Street Fighter. They're not fighting gamers, right? They don't play fighting games a
No,
lot,
that
and
would
they
be
say
Mortal
it's the
Kombat.
exact and they say it's the exact same thing, bro. If it's not your thing, let's not try and pretend like we understand both and can point out and say no, it's the exact same thing. It's really not.
Well, we can see why Balatro, like for example, like Balatro's not my kind of game, but I can
It's
see
like
why
the people.
people.
It's like the people that say that Sekiro is the same thing with Dark Souls. What? Like, do you even play these games? Do you even watch the gameplay? When you say that Elden, when you say that Black Myth is the same thing as as Zelda, I'm like, okay,
Yeah, but what I really mean there is like from a quality perspective, right? So we think about um, Skyrim, for example, right?
what
That
does quality
stands.
mean? What does quality mean? I've seen a lot of people throw around the word quality. What
Well,
does quality mean?
Quality means
is
whatever the
Black
person who
Myth
likes a thing
when
wants it to mean.
when you play Black Myth Wukong, does it
Yeah,
excel in what it's trying to achieve in the same
Yes,
way that Baldur's Gate 3 excelled, the same way
yeah,
that Cyberpunk excelled?
it does.
yeah, yeah,
So you
yeah,
That's
would
why
put Black
people
Myth
love it.
Wukong in the same category as those games.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely,
In their own genre, yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
What does okay, educate me. What does Black Myth Wukong do from a gameplay perspective or story perspective or whatever
so
It
that
much.
it
puts it in that?
successfully makes a really fun experience out of the whole um what do you call it? The whole Monkey King lore.
Journey to the West,
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a
dude.
story though. Like, what does it do
So
gameplay
it
wise?
successfully captures that as a game.
Yeah, but not. But that's not really good enough for a Game Award though, right?
Why isn't it?
As opposed to a card game.
Yes, yes,
I, I
yes.
I think
wait,
both
Before
of
I
wait,
them
I'm
are
confused.
I think both of them
So
are good.
wait, hold on. So because Indiana Jones is a good Indiana Jones game, it deserves a Game Award.
it's exceedingly good
Indiana
at what it
Jones, like
is.
I watched like some footage of it being played and I was tempted.
You need to play it, Cozy. You need to
It
play
I
ain't
it.
don't
really
like it,
fun.
care about Indiana Jones.
Neither
Yeah,
do
but
I,
yeah.
honestly.
Here's a quick one, Cozy. Here's a quick one. My brother does not like first person games, especially twitchy games. I tried to recommend him Call of Duty, which is free now and whatever on Game Pass, free quote unquote, right? And he was like, "Nah, I don't like these twitchy stuff." And I recommended him indie, and he tried it because I told him it's not just first person shooter because he just saw first person. It's like, nah, I'm good. I was like, no, you can actually like play through it with patience and stealth and whatever. He's playing it and loving it. So when you have time in the next 2 weeks, because you said you're gonna have time, please go back and get Indiana Jones. Give it, Cozy. I
Yeah.
don't even have to say the whole Death Stranding thing. It's a video game. In the first 20 minutes, it's going to deliver. I promise you that. Diego says go back and play Uncharted. Yeah,
I
yeah.
I
Uncharted.
I,
Uncharted's
I
Uncharted's
honestly
amazing
that's
as
my
well.
issue.
Yeah.
Like so Uncharted, I actually I got the game and then I had someone else play through it for me. and I
Mm-hmm.
just watched it because I don't really like the whole like, oh, just kill things until the next cutscene,
Yeah, yeah. No,
which
it's
I know
different.
I've
It's
said
different.
before.
It's different. It's even got like the Zelda, like the little quirks with physics and the whip. Trust
Oh
me.
yeah, it makes sense. Like for it to be an actual have good competent puzzles.
Oh, it's so good.
The
It's so
puzzles
good.
are great.
Yeah, and you can like set them up to be more or less challenging. It's very fun.
No,
Raichi
no,
says what? Go ahead, Cozy.
I was gonna say Reichi. No, I was gonna comment on what Roichi said. So repeat his comment. Read his
Yeah, it
comment.
says what God of War gives us Greek mythology. Wukong gives us Chinese mythology. Go ahead, Cozy.
I was like, yeah, that's the sum of it. Is like it, and in a way, I think, especially outside, like the whole like um journey to the West story is just like fascinating, and you see so many various adaptations of it, but
Mm.
they don't really necessarily always deliver. And
I wanna,
especially game, there aren't really a whole bunch of big adaptations.
I think
I,
that's why it
I
different than
wanna
the
add a bit more
US.
salt. I wanna add a bit more salt to this dish, Cozy. See, Tai, remember when I told you about Sifu and how it's so like visceral and tactile. You know, you can
Hmm.
feel every punch, every block, every count, every dodge.
Hmm.
Wukong gives me that. But now it's in that fantastical world. And it works so well. Like there's some boss counters, literal boss counters that merge with the attack that you just tried to make. It's it's a video game, but it's so close to cinema. It's amazing. You feel like you're watching a cutscene as you're trying to pull out a move. Then the boss gives you a crazy counter. Like I'll give you one example. One of the bosses, I'm forgetting his name. Um, I'm I'm throwing my stick at him. Right, the light combo. On the third hit, this guy grabs my stick. Like he grabs it. He doesn't block it or pretend it's not there. He grabs it, stares me down, chucks me around with the stick, and then gets into his combo. It's on some like WWE choreographed shit. It's wild. It's wild. It's you're playing the game by yourself in your room, and then you're like, oh, and you're looking around like, I wish someone was here with me to watch that shit. That was wild. For me, that's worth game of the year. At no point did that happen with Astrobot. You know what? With Astrobot, as soon as I finished the second planet, I was like, I'm out. Because the whole time I was playing it, I felt like I was playing it just to keep my gamer card. And when you're playing a game like that, that's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. You want to play because you can't stop playing.
Yeah, I could
So
definitely stop playing Astrobot. I'll tell you that.
I think when people compare it to Mario, I think the fundamental difference is uh like the hook with Mario is, like I always say, Nintendo is a gameplay first company. So everything about them is not designed around anything other than the pure gameplay and how the game will be built from that. Um,
Diego says the sign that you didn't play the whole game. I didn't. I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't play the whole of Astrobot. And again, if the selling point is, oh, play the whole game, then it'll get good. Ooh.
it's like when someone told me, "Oh, the persona gets good after like the first like 5 or 10 hours," and I was like,
Dude, when I heard that, my buddy Twan, God bless him. He loves Atlas. His game of the year this year obviously is Metaphor. And I really enjoy Metaphor what I played of it. But I remember when Persona hit Game Pass and I was like, I'll give it a shot. And I have terrible ADHD. Horrible. Like if a game doesn't capture my attention and I'm
"Damn,
being generous within the first hour, I'm out.
you
I
are
I, ju-
generous." An
I
hour?
just I just can't do it. So when I played Persona and it didn't click with me, And I told Twan, he's like, yeah, but you got to put in at least 10, 15 hours. I'm like, fuck,
Yeah,
I got,
no,
That's
no,
a
no.
I do.
game. That's another
Nope,
game.
not
Listen,
me.
listen. At least
Exactly.
Death
10 hours
Stranding.
is a full game.
Exactly.
At
I'm
least
done with
Death
that.
Stranding. In 5 hours, the game gets going. All right. I'm just
I,
saying. Death
No.
Stranding in five
I was
hours, it
locked
gets
into
going.
Death Stranding within an hour. I
Let's
was already
go.
in.
Let's go.
But yeah, whenever if someone ever tells me, "Oh, 10 hours," I'm like,
Nope.
and it's funny because some of the games that I like are games that people will say that about, but I actually was hooked very early on, so I enjoyed it because I've seen people say things about certain games, and I'm like, I liked it immediately because I'll give a game 30 minutes
Yeah.
and then just do
Uh,
something else.
Mental. What do you have to add on this whole discussion about Astrobot and also uh to wow okay, all right, he's a shower not a talker. um how long?
There you go.
Nice.
God damn, this
There you
guy.
go.
Okay, so you are happy that Astrobots won. You're happy.
Happy might be a strong word,
You're okay with
but
it.
given the nominees, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. I'm not surprised at all. Uh, I mean, I was kind of thinking it might be Black Myth Wukong, but
I
I'm
thought it
not
was
at all
Mexico.
surprised.
I thought it was
I'm not at all
Mexico.
surprised. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So how long for you to give up on a game?
Uh, I'm somewhat resilient. I think I'll always give it the good old college try, as they say. But yeah, if it
As the
hasn't got me
grandpas
within,
say.
yeah, exactly. Thanks, Cozy.
Yeah, but
Appreciate
how
that.
long
Uh,
college try? Because everyone gives it the college try, but how long?
somewhere in the range of that 2 to 3 hour mark.
God,
If it hasn't,
God.
if it
Wow.
hasn't got
Okay.
me by
Okay,
then,
Mr. Patient.
I tend to fall off and
Yeah,
leave the train.
yeah.
You know what's wild? I rarely
Bandwagon
actually
can't keep me at that point.
I can't think of very many games that I've bought that I've given up on because if I'm buying a game, I'm pretty certain that and I don't
Yeah,
even try games unless I think I'll like them. I think the last time I tried a game and I was like, this is not good was Greedfall.
Oh
that
yeah.
that
God
that's
damn.
basically me too, Cozy.
That
Like if
one
I
didn't work.
buy a game, I'm far more inclined to try and stay in there and play it.
Yeah.
If it's in a like Game Pass or PlayStation Plus or something like that, there's way less grace on that front. I'll just kind of
Hmm.
go, and if it doesn't get me
I,
pretty
I
quick,
haven't
I'm out.
noticed the difference, me personally. If
What?
if I'm not feeling a game, whether I bought it, whether it's Game Pass, whether it's PS Plus, I don't care. If I hop on and I'm not having, because I only get like 2 hours a day on a good day, on a good night, I only get about 2 hours to play a game, and I'm not
Yeah,
trying to force myself to have fun. I want to actually have fun. So
But
if if I'm not hooked in the first like hour, that's the most I'll give a game. 1 hour. If I'm not hooked, I'm out. And this business about trying to get refunds. The last time I tried to get a refund, I think it was what 2012 or something, on the Xbox One. I struggled, and I was just like, all right, fuck it. So everything now is like Russian roulette. I'll look at YouTube, and then I'll buy it. And if it doesn't work out, I just move on with my life
I
because
very specifically know what
ain't
games I
nobody got
want,
time for
so
this.
I don't really get buyer's remorse. The last time I got buyer's remorse was from a game that I expected I'd like because it was from it was a game that on a paper was going to be a game that I liked, but then I just thought it wasn't as good as the last one. So, but
Hmm.
normally, like even Borderlands 3, which I didn't like nearly as much as Borderlands 2, I didn't regret it and played through it. I
Borderlands
rarely
3
buy,
is a good
huh?
game. Borderlands 3 is a good game. It's not great. It's not great, but it's a good game.
I
Speaking of
mean, it was.
Borderlands,
I felt like I feel like they're probably
liked
never
it.
going to ever be as great as Borderlands 2, just because Handsome Jack was just
So good.
yeah.
Epic.
Yeah,
Perfect. Almost perfect.
yeah.
The, oh, sorry, Matt, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, speaking of buyer's remorse, and you mentioned Borderlands, the only game this generation that I bought that I regretted was Tiny Tina's.
Oh fuck!
Did
I
not
was
like Tiny
thinking about
You
Tina's.
know, someone
Tiny
gifted
Tina's
that to me.
Wonderland.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
that was bad.
Good
Because I
I,
one.
I
enjoyed Borderlands
Yeah.
3. I enjoyed Borderlands 3.
I
So
think the
when
thing
I saw the
about
Tiny Tina thing, I was like, oh, let's go, and then it was so bad.
I think the thing
Yeah.
about it is like
Yeah.
it worked when there was just like the Assault on Dragonair DLC. That worked because it was specifically addressing a situation
Mm-hmm.
that in the game, and but it didn't need to be expanded on, and I think that's what made it so good. And I think they just took the wrong lesson from it being so good, and like, let's make a game out of this, but we didn't want a game out of it. It was just like a good piece of DLC.
Yeah, it's like we didn't need the Black Widow movie. It's fine. Ty, how long until you give up a new game?
That's an interesting question. Probably depends on the type of game. So if I'm playing a JRPG game and it's one that I've generally when I'm playing these games, I already know a lot about them, so I already know what to expect. So if it's like a Xenoblade JRPG game, any game like that, we're probably willing to give it like maybe 15, 20 hours. Just those kind of games. When it comes to games that I expect to hit the ground running, like maybe a Cyberpunk or a Witcher, or probably a couple of hours in general. There's only one game that I've played, and after a while, I was like, "This isn't clicking for me." Was Control, but I forced myself to finish it because, for
Damn.
whatever
Control
reason,
made me sick.
that
Me
game
too.
that game runs terribly, and the
The map is
stories,
horrible.
yeah, the
That map.
story is terrible. It was such a trash
Like,
waste of
I
time. I'm
played
so
for like
Uh-oh.
irritated
5
thinking
minutes
about
and
it.
my stomach started flipping, and I was like, nope, 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 nope.
I
I'm
enjoy the
doing this.
game, but yeah, that
I
map is
like
horrible.
Control.
No, it wasn't even that I hated
So
the game. I can't even tell you if I hated the game. That game made me so sick. It like literally, I got nauseous within the first 5 minutes of
How
trying
come?
it.
I love the gameplay. The story was just like, why'd you make it so weird and complicated and all this sort of nonsense? I
Why'd you
just don't
have to
understand
go
it.
and make things so complicated?
That's exactly how I felt. Yeah, and I forced myself to finish it. And then once I was done, I said I'll never in my life force myself to finish any game. Any game that's in my backlog is just dead. Like,
Yeah,
forget it.
dude. Yeah. If it's not fun, I'm out, bro. I'm out.
Yeah.
That's what gaming's about.
Yeah, having
I did that with Horizon Forbidden
So
West. I forced myself to finish
Oh
it
yeah, that was
just so
funny. That was
my
funny.
opinion could be valid, just so I could really have a
yeah,
valid opinion of, dude, this game is fucking horrible.
yeah. See, that game I gave 2 hours to,
that.
roughly, and I was out.
At least with Horizon, you
But
can say like the mystery element was actually very like enticing. Like it was
Ham?
okay, I want to see what's gonna happen next. But
I like Zero,
Hold up, is Ham
like
here? Ham?
I
Zero
just heard
Dawn was
Ham
good.
solo.
Ew.
Yeah, Zero Dawn was great. I
Gross.
really enjoyed Zero Dawn.
Yeah, Forbidden West though, I just could not get into.
No.
I heard
It just
Ham's
seemed
voice
way
here.
too slow.
I don't see him though.
I see him down in the bottom, but he's not on the screen.
I think like Horizon
Alright, there he is.
There he is.
Zero
There he is.
Dawn was like the last time I played my PS4. I was like, oh, this seems like an exciting game, and I was
What
like,
did you play Control on, Cozy?
when it
Like,
was on Game Pass, I never would
so
have bought it.
PC or console though?
Console.
Huh.
Alright, so we have Ham
It's
here
weird
for
that it
5
made you
minutes.
sick.
Let's welcome in Ham. Ham, how you doing?
No,
bro?
let's not welcome in that
How
fraud,
were the Game Awards, Ham? How were the Game Awards
that
and how are you
fake
feeling?
gamer.
Ham?
No,
He's not
Ham being
here.
here?
I don't know what's going on.
I heard him say
struggling.
something.
Alright, he's
I
probably
thought I
having
heard him say hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Huh?
He did.
It's probably internet problems. Hotel internet probably. Diego says he forced himself to finish Ghostwire Tokyo. You know what,
I still need
and
to.
Matt and Ty, I feel your pain of finishing games you weren't enjoying. Specifically, Matt, because I
I
finished The
know.
Witcher. I finished The
Shut
Witcher
up.
Oh,
just so I could have an opinion. And ill, just ill. Like,
The Witcher is my most owned, least played game.
not surprised at all.
I literally
Not
own it in like
surprised.
every platform.
All right. Lastly, Oshus, how long does it take for you to give up on a game?
Um, for me, it's literally the first hour to say 5 hours.
5 hours.
Well, it
Damn,
like for instance,
you're
like certain
invested.
like I'll give you an example. Like I suppose like we're talking about buyer's remorse. Like Last of Us 2, it takes about 5 hours for you to say fuck that game.
5 out. No, I've never waited that long to say fuck that game.
Oh, like yeah,
If you
but like
don't
with
count, if you don't count Greedfall, but that was only because I kept forgetting that I'd started
yeah,
it, and it would be like, oh, this sounds like a fun game, and then start it again, and then be like, oh wait, I already started this game. Let me
yeah.
try some. And I did that
But
like
like
5 or 6 times.
but like with most games, it's like the first hour. I know whether I'm gonna like it or not. With a game like Last of Us, it's a little bit complicated because the story, everything is well done. Everything is shiny. Everything is polished. Everything is good. It's just a matter of is it for you or is it not for you? And it takes you a while to sort of like, well, I'm not having fun anymore. This feels like borderline torture. And that's just an aesthetic thing. It's not a commentary on the game's quality. But like yeah, so for me that was a game I was like, you know what, I wish I had not bought this. I had just played it on PSN, because it's not for me. It's a quality game, but it's not made for me. I want to have fun when I play games. I don't
What?
want to feel
So no, no. What
weird.
remains of Edith Finch?
No, I've never actually played that.
Oh, stay away. Stay away from it.
How would you like to feel sad?
Noted. Like I don't mind feeling sad, but like I just
No,
don't like a game
I
that
don't
just
think you
spirals.
understand.
Yeah,
Well, I don't want to feel depressed. I think that's the thing. Like for instance, there's a lot of games that have made me feel sad. Like for instance, David Cage's games, like your Heavy Rain and all those games, they really have like very very deep emotional moments that can really take you through, things. However, I enjoy those games. I have fun playing them because they put you in it just enough, and then you conclude that part of the game and you move on to another part where it's sort of refreshing. With a game like Last of Us Part Two, it's like it's heavy from beginning to end, and it just gets heavier the more you play the game.
Yeah, there's not really a stopping point on that game in terms of heaviness.
Oh.
Ham, what's up? I just heard Ham.
I find it nuts. I can't
there we
hear
go.
anybody though.
That's not
I
good.
don't know if you guys can hear me, but yeah,
And now
Yeah,
I can't hear anybody.
we can definitely hear you, bud.
can hear you.
I don't know what Luke's doing. Fuck, what's happening?
I think on The Last of Us, I agree with you guys. It is intense throughout, but I think maybe the real reason why I would separate it from David Cage's games are um, the Last of Us. I don't know. It makes you play, and it intentionally puts you in a very uncomfortable situation when you're playing as Abby. I think that was the part that kind of, because I remember playing that scene, and it just felt really strange and uncomfortable. Whereas with like any game that's like deep, thought provoking, any of the Quantic Dream games, I never was in a situation where I felt a little bit like almost like disgusted with myself. So that was what Neil was going for, and he succeeded.
I honestly think that my issue, like Quantic Dream games, I think overall, I think David Cage is like, comes off as like a more creative, bankrupt Kojima, and I think that's fundamentally why his stuff. What?
Cozy, thou shalt not utter the name of the greatest video game mind of all time. Next to Neil Druckmann. Not next to Neil Druckmann. All right, don't do it.
No, I didn't say Neil Druckmann. I said David Cage.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Okay, sorry, that's
No,
fine.
but he's like a. But he comes off very much like he wants to be like that, but he doesn't have. He lacks the artistic talent to just truly be weird,
He
and
doesn't
he
have that
lacks.
dog in him.
And he lacks the storytelling talent to truly be creative.
He doesn't have that dog in him. Heartless, freaking heartless.
I
All right,
know that's terrible, but yeah.
Yeah,
let's get back
no
to the
one,
award.
no one does artsy fartsy like Kojima.
No one.
Yeah, I mean,
He
like he
understands to be an artist, you have to be a weird person.
exactly, like he can do incest angles and all that type of stuff, and
All right, all right. Let's get back to the
people,
award.
people
No,
still wanna
no,
play them.
we are not doing this.
No,
Moving
what is
on.
that about? That's not
Moving
good.
on. Best game
MGS2.
direction. God damn it! I
Oh, that's
guys,
not
Oh
good.
yeah,
please.
incest is wincest.
Yeah, think is that your opinion, though? Because that
Yeah,
All right.
if he loves Kojima, that's his opinion.
Best game direction. Second at
must be.
best game direction, Astrobot won it. Best narrative, Metaphor Refantatio.
Yeah,
Best,
that made sense.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
narrative's really good in that game.
yeah. I haven't played it, but even Ham, that doesn't care much for story, was riveted. So that says all you need to know. Best art direction, Metaphor again, also
So
makes
just
sense.
a quick
I
one.
mean,
This is why I feel like the Elden Ring thing just doesn't make sense. I feel like if Elden Ring came out this year, not the DLC, Elden Ring could have probably won that. So I don't really. It just feels weird. It feels like it was only in it for Game of the Year. That was the only thing that was going to win. Because it would have been weird if Elden Ring wins music or anything else. Because we already experienced these things. We already experienced their art style.
yeah.
If Elden Ring's art style is truly the best, and a lot of people will probably say like its aesthetics is amazing, does that mean every
Yeah.
time it gets a DLC it wins again? Like it's just kind of silly.
Yep.
That's why the whole DLC thing is ridiculous.
100% agree. Doesn't make any sense.
Yep, I agree as well. I just think, like, for instance, then Cyberpunk was robbed then last year. Cyberpunk should have,
Exactly. Thank you.
nominated and won.
Thank you.
Yep.
It's funny how that works. We're not going to do it this year, Cyberpunk, but we'll do it for Elden Ring. Yeah.
It's I mean,
It's funny how that works.
It's
he's
even
got
just
that
like
50
shocked
story.
because it won nothing, like nothing at all.
It felt like it, but honestly, that's usually how it is every year. Like, that's why you can't take these things seriously, because they're
Mhm.
going to put things up there because they're like, oh, that's the hit thing and stuff like that. Like Astrobot, honestly, I don't even think it belongs in the best art direction.
Same here. Same here.
It's a cool looking game, but I think to it was like pretty much like a lot of the art direction was, look at these Sony things.
Yeah,
And I
the
think
art
that's
direction was
creatively
PlayStation.
stale.
To be fair, PlayStation's very good at art. But anyways,
But I mean, take something PlayStation has made and put it up versus that for art.
You
Does
want to
that
talk about a
win?
game of theirs that truly had great art direction? Gravity Rush.
Sure.
yeah, I'm not much of a fan for Gravity Rush, but
I think
yeah.
in general most of their games don't have great art direction. I
Did,
think Horizon, absolutely. I think our Horizon has great art direction. But I think a lot of their games actually don't have great art direction.
did
Matt, do you guys think Indiana Jones would have won art direction if it came out this year earlier
no, it
on?
wouldn't have won art
No.
direction.
Okay.
Nah, I think
It would have
Indiana
won.
Jones.
It would have won some stuff, but not art direction.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it looks fine, but it plays very, very well. I think
I-
that's where it shines.
I
Even
think
like audio design is very good on Indiana
so.
Jones.
And here's the thing. Here's how I know it's kind of like what you call it. Neva, also up there, is the only other one of these that had really great art direction. That isn't Elden Ring. Yes, I'll agree with that. But Elden Ring was also Elden Ring. But Neva, a game that's like it's an art game done by the same people who did Gree. So yes, it's an art game.
So, so last year they did the art direction thing. Was Hi-Fi Rush there?
I don't think so.
And I don't think so. Yeah.
So does Hi-Fi Rush have better art than Astrobot?
I think it does.
Yeah.
Okay. So why does that? And,
'Cause
and I guess I didn't even mean to make that like an Xbox first play, but like that's
You
why I
could.
don't really take it seriously because it's like Hi-Fi Rush has a really cool art style. Doesn't win. Astrobot's art style is just PlayStation, and it wins.
I mean, some of these categories are like that because I remember the year like best audio design not being Animal Crossing
Hmm.
when they had a little thing where they showed like how much work they put into all the audio decisions in Animal Crossing, and it was like better than any game. It's still probably one of the best audio designs in any game you'll ever experience. Oh my goodness.
And yet, nothing.
Yep.
Moving on. Best score and music. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Yeah, we all
Yeah.
know.
So
That
Yeah.
was given.
I think
Best.
Metaphor was a close second.
Metaphor is great, but I never heard Final Fantasy, so I don't know. But Metaphor
Final
is great.
Fantasy is iconic, so it's like Final Fantasy.
They just took the old beats, remastered the same beats,
Hmm.
and bangers all around. Stellar Blade got a shout in here with the music. That's nice. That's nice. Best audio design. Senua Saga Hellblade 2.
Obviously.
Easy way.
Yeah,
Obvious.
Obviously.
that's
There's no
easy to
game
say.
that in that category that could have done better.
I'm surprised
Yeah.
Call of Duty was there. Like I like Call of Duty, but
No, Call of Duty does
but
have good
best
audio design.
The guns,
Is it
dude.
though?
No,
Because
yes.
Gunfire and stuff
I
is
play
probably.
multiplayer and I feel like I hear footsteps thundering that aren't even near me. It's like
The
eh,
campaign is amazing, in my
I'm sure it
opinion.
is. I'm sure it
The
is.
campaign
But
is
it's
amazing.
just there's really inconsistent audio in Call of Duty, and it's just surprising that it's
Yeah,
there.
campaign is different though. Eh? Like it's movie quality. Everything is like I don't know. Like I really enjoyed that campaign. I even said like I would have if it was my Game Awards, I would that's my game of the year. Like I
Well,
would have nominated it because it just
That's crazy. Call of Duty.
next year, you guys, the TSW Game Awards again.
Yeah,
That was
Probably not.
fun.
Yeah, but it's
probably
probably
12 more months.
I don't think Call of Duty wins next year because this year's campaign was stellar,
Well, it's
but
definitely not winning next year.
no one played. No one played the campaign this year, so I think that's going to be a problem. I think it's going to affect the
yeah, that's
decisions.
true.
Yeah, the decision that Xbox makes with,
All the achievements were rare.
and
Like
the game's been
what
out
is it
for
like
months
they were
now.
like you get like diamond.
Yeah, yeah, and the game's been out for a minute, so it's
But
not
we
even.
all know that's why when people complain about the campaign is so short. You all don't even play the campaign. Stop lying.
It's
That's
also people, it's like you got to take into account that
Don't be
achievement's being
squinting your
counted
eyes at me.
amongst everybody who boots up the Call of Duty app. And there's people who boot up the Call of Duty app, forget the campaign and forget the multiplayer. There's people who boot up the Call of Duty app only to play Warzone, who don't even care about the whole Black Ops 6 thing. They're just playing Warzone. So like those people count towards the rarity of that achievement as well.
I hope
And
that Xbox is taking that into account. Go ahead, Mental.
I just want to comment on Call of Duty's launcher. It's an
It's
absolute
horrible.
nightmare.
It's
Absolute
garbage.
trash. The fact that they decided they had to integrate everything into one launcher is just, it's a complete mess. I was trying to
Mhm.
set up my daughter to play Modern Warfare 1. It took
Aww.
hours to figure it out because you had to have all these other DLC things installed just to make the campaign work. Was insane. Complete
Mhm.
garbage. I don't know what they're thinking with that. And then it
It
makes the
needs
game
to stop.
340 plus gigabytes. Like, what a What do Series S owners do with the old 512 version? It only has around 350 gigs available for games in the first place. So you
Good
put
luck with
that
that.
on there, and that's it.
Yep.
Good luck with that.
It's not good.
Time,
Ridiculous.
it's time to join Oshus with the PC.
Woo woo! Oh, you're not there
Uh,
already? What's wrong with
oh,
you?
Cozy. I've been there. I've been there.
Oh, you're
This is
kind of
my
there.
life.
You're not really there.
This is
Yeah,
my life.
over there.
You have a laptop. You're not really there.
All right, if you say so.
I do say so.
He's there
Next,
in
best
spirit. Kind of like
hardware.
Africa, right? He's living in Texas, but
But
he's
he's in Africa. He's
Oh,
spiritually
yeah.
African.
you guys
Yeah.
suck. You guys suck. Best performance. Melina Jurgens, Senor
Woohoo!
Star in Hellblade 2.
Shout out.
Honestly,
Well
yeah.
deserved.
Like her performance, even with little I played the first Hellblade, was really good.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes
crushed
it's a throwaway category, like, oh, this is the most popular game.
Yeah, she's very convincing. Next, innovation in accessibility. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown.
We'll have to see what Paul has to say about
Oh,
it.
yeah. I wonder why they didn't bring up the Prince of Persia team for that.
They didn't get brought up. What happened? Oh, because
They
the
don't.
studio.
Because the
Yeah.
studio doesn't exist.
No, they did go up
Moving
and
on.
get an award, didn't they?
I don't think they did.
I
Not
think
the
it was like
Prince of
one of
Persia
those
team.
side ones. I think they no they did. I
I'll look it
remember
up.
they came up and they got an award. It wasn't like a main stage. It was with Sydney. Goodman.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I got what you mean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so Sydney Goodman gave them the award, and they were thankful, and they said the thanks.
Mm.
to some people and
Thanks.
shit.
I'll find another job, but yeah.
Yeah.
Nah,
Thanks,
the team got
Ubisoft.
repurposed into making
Oh, they got
Rayman.
repurposed, so they exist still.
Yeah, no, well the team was disbanded.
They weren't fired. They weren't
No, they weren't
fired.
fired. No, they got repurposed into making Rayman, which makes sense because I
Rayman?
mean,
We're
yeah,
getting Rayman?
yeah,
Rayman.
Rayman, yeah.
Ah! I don't care. I don't care about Prince of Persia. Never mind. This is good things.
All right then. Next, games for impact. Never won.
Oh,
I feel like Tales of
Indica,
Kenzera's
I think should have won. Actually,
Who should have
What?
won?
I mean, Indica.
Indica.
You have to
Oh yeah,
play
you
it to understand. I can't even
recommend
explain
this
it.
game. Yeah, you did recommend this game. Highly recommended by Cozy, but I think Tales of Kenzera's should have won.
No, I don't.
What does this category even mean?
I don't know what it
Games
means.
for impact. I don't know, dog. Like
I
stuff
think
that
it's more like RT game that makes you think
Yeah.
about video games. Like think about like Journey, those kind of games who kind of make it there. So Tales of
I mean,
Kenzera is about a guy, who lost his father. So I think that's something special to note. Also, it's like small indie dev or whatever. So those are kind of
Yeah, I
categories.
mean, Neva is a indie dev too, and so is Indica.
No. I'm not disagreeing with who won. I'm just explaining the parameters.
Oh.
Cozy out here capping for her Indica. Next, best ongoing game.
They
Helldivers
never
2.
nominate the best ongoing games.
What do you mean they never nominate?
It's
What do you-
It's probably Fortnite, isn't it?
It's Helldivers 2. Helldivers
No,
2.
no, the best ones that are like for example, you don't see games like Warframe.
Yeah, like Warframe. That makes sense.
Yeah,
But
Warframe is literally one of the
5.
best ongoing games.
GTA 5. And
Yeah,
just in
that as
terms
well.
of the amount of people playing it, Diablo 4 should not be there. Come on.
Why not? Diablo
It's-
4
it's
has
very popular.
I
yeah.
think there's more people
It's-
playing. I think there's more people playing GTA than Diablo 4.
It doesn't matter that more
Sure.
people are playing it. It matters that
Yeah.
how much
But
it how much
Isn't
it
the amount
does.
of people playing it a reflection
And
on
that always reminds me of how
well it's
like
good?
certain games aren't nominated, but like Warframe is one of the best ongoing games. It really is.
If you go by the amount of people playing it, then Fortnite will win every single
Yeah,
time.
it'd be Fortnite or
Yeah.
GTA every
It's not
single
about the
year.
amount of people playing it.
Look,
I think of it
I
in terms
feel-
of like
and-
meaningful updates that have changed the game. Like
Yeah.
And this is why I don't have faith in the Game Awards anymore.
yeah.
Because the idea that they sold us on, the bill of goods that they sold us on, was this is about competition and picking the best winner.
It isn't. It's
But
And
about like
it's just not that. And it's the same reason why I've fallen out of love with like the MVP award in the NBA. Because it's like, dude, the best player should win every single year. It doesn't matter if you guys are tired of him. Is he the
no.
best or not?
I
That's
honestly
all
think like
it
for
should be.
ongoing game, I think like the best way to look at it is meaningful changes. That's how I look at it.
exactly.
And I think Fortnite actually, I think Helldivers, as fun as it is, I think it hasn't delivered anything meaningful. It's exactly what I expect of it, but it's not like
From my understanding, Helldivers, I mean, the game came out and hasn't made any major change. Whereas, at least you could say, for
Fortnite.
Diablo,
Fortnite
no,
even.
sorry, no, not Fortnite. Helldivers. I know, like with Fortnite, you're seeing these updates with Lego and all these other stuff. So it's like they're clearly improving the game. With Helldivers, I think the biggest update like of recent just came out at the Game Awards.
Yeah, it just came out.
I don't know why it won this award, especially when like Diablo released
A whole new,
Vessel,
yeah.
Vessel of Vessel of Hatred, and that's like a 84 Metacritic. I don't like. I'm really just surprised that Helldivers 2 won this. It seems like, not to hate on the game or whatever, but it seems like it had to win something because of the numbers it did earlier on this year.
Yeah, that's essentially it. Whenever it's like certain games, they're going to give them the grace of like, oh,
And it's a PlayStation game. Let's
yeah.
not dance around it. Let's not
Mhm.
let's not dance around it, guys. Come on.
I mean
That's
that I do believe that is fully accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on. Best
Yep.
community support. Baldur's Gate 3.
No, actually, I would give that to Helldivers. In fact, that is one where I would give to Helldivers above.
really why.
Helldivers has had great, like they interact with the community, they are involved with the community.
Okay.
Yeah. Just back to the ongoing thing for a second.
Yeah.
Uh, to me, like ongoing is a game that's been around for like years.
Yes.
State of Decay 2,
You know?
3 will never get acknowledged as a really great ongoing game, despite the fact that it absolutely is.
State of Decay 2, you mean?
Yeah, State of Decay 2. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
No,
if you played State of Decay 2 when it first came out, you have not experienced what the game is now.
yeah, that's what I've heard, and I haven't played it since it first came out, and I didn't last long in it. It just was too much work. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, sorry to
Sorry.
take it back to the previous
No, it's fine. It's fine.
previous topic, but it just I found the Helldivers 2 when they're a bit ridiculous because it's only been out for a
Same.
little.
But PlayStation.
Yeah, that's a fair point. That's true. Kind of
That's
spitting
a
with
lot.
that.
When you bring up PlayStation, it's hard for you to sit there and be like, that doesn't matter, because it does. It does. If it's PlayStation, it matters.
Well, it obviously
Next,
does.
best independent game, Balatro. All right.
At least this year they decided independent game and independent game.
That's a positive.
Not small game run by a big or published by a big publisher.
But
best-
it's independent because it looks like an indie.
yeah, that was awkward last year. That was
Look at
very-
this. It's not a AAA game.
Best debut indie game, also Balatro. Yeah, wow, these guys cleaned house. Best mobile game, Balatro as well.
Yeah.
Best VR AR game, no one cares.
I was actually surprised Batman won that. I thought Asgard 2 was going to take it for sure.
Okay. Best action game, Black Myth Wukong. So at least they won something.
Hey, good for them.
This makes 100% sense.
I thought they won a few things.
Says the biggest
My
Wukong
phone.
hater. All right, sure, Tai. Best action adventure game, Astrobot.
That shit was
No,
fucking
that
hilarious.
was bullshit.
Yeah,
that was hysterical. Dude, me and Mike were watching that and we were in hysterics.
Best fighting game too.
Boy, it's about best action adventure game, right?
No,
I'm
best
looking at
action.
it and I'm thinking,
Against those games, oof. So somebody likes S Robot.
dude, that list of games there is just
The list
it's
is
just funny, and
I don't like the
the
list.
I don't either, and the fact that Astrobot won it is just even funnier,
Well, here's a quick
honestly.
question, right? Do we consider Astrobot an adventure game or platform game, or is it
A
both?
platform game,
Just a
platform
platform
game,
game.
I
platform.
would agree, kinda, but I think if we actually consider it an adventure game, it's superior to all these other games.
But it's not an adventure game.
I think my problem with Astrobot is ultimately the cool bits are like, look at all these Sony IPs. It plays well, but the cool bits are honestly, look at all this. Half of the cool bits are nostalgia.
But that's not a bad thing.
And Easter eggs.
That's not a
No,
bad thing.
It's not a bad
nostalgia can
thing,
be great, yeah,
but it's just
but
doesn't elevate it in any meaningful way.
Just a follow up on that point I just made there. Would you then say Mario should be excluded from the adventure
Why?
category?
Mario games. What Mario games are we talking about?
is Mario there?
The typical ones, right?
No,
Like
there's no typical
Odyssey,
Mario game.
Odyssey, Galaxy.
But that's an adventure game. That's like a full-on
Yeah.
adventure game that's not built on Easter eggs. The IPs. It stands on its own. And
Yes.
each Mario game is super unique in the sense that the universe is different. You're not still playing Super Mario Bros. From 1980, was it 4?
Hmm.
Every single one of those sort of iterates it and innovates, and there's a new mechanic. Whether it's like he's busy using like some sort of a plumbing gun, or he is in different planets, or whatever the situation is. So
God
the
damn it,
adventure is there.
y'all are gonna make me
Okay,
defend that.
so you would say Astrobot has no adventure.
No,
Not
I
really,
don't.
no.
Everything was
I don't
righteous. It
know.
was done
Damn it.
in good faith. It was done in good faith. Everything was done perfectly. I now see Jeff Keighley as possibly the next coming of. No, I better not say that. I better not say that.
It was like
I
Jeff
better-
Keighley might be Jesus.
Um.
What's up, you guys?
What's
I
going
got a
on?
little bit of time, but my Steam Deck is like hightailing it to the danger zone. But I got a little bit of time to be here with you guys. I finally got it all
So
situated. Well, situated enough. It's definitely not situated, but I got it situated enough to slide through for a little bit. I tried to slide through on my phone, but I don't know why it's not working anymore.
oh.
On my phone, at least. I don't know. I might just need to restart my phone. I'm mad lazy right now.
Yeah. Probably had a
I'm
nice sleep
tired.
there, bud.
Well, stop being tired. Be yourself.
I'm not even gonna entertain it right now.
So, Ham, what were your thoughts on the Game Awards? What you saw, etc.
The show was fantastic. It was done well in an entertaining sense and a look at these new games sense. I
Yeah.
mean, as it is every year, most of the awards are an afterthought. Just the way he presents them are afterthoughts. Like 80% of the awards that he presents, he does like it's like it's a countdown. He does it like it's a countdown, and I get it because like he knows what everybody came to see. Like, to be real, he knows what everybody. And I think I almost feel like we're foolish if
Who?
we think that. Well, not like us, but I'm just saying like us as people are foolish if we think that we expect him to take it super serious. I mean, I understand what should be, but there's a whole lot of the world that ain't what it should be, and this is just another product of it. It is what it is. I mean, hey, if I got asked to go talk about a new game or something, I would be more than happy to do that. But
Oh
like,
yeah,
and I'm sure any of us would, right? I
if I like
think
the game.
I feel like I feel like a lot of it is just like presentation and just a celebrate. So it really just felt like a celebration of the end of the year and people hoorahing for the things that they like, because I know a lot of people are like mad about Astrobot or talking about Astrobot winning game of the year, but it's just like, dude, you should have heard that building, man, when it won. It was nuts. That building got loud. It got loud in there. And I ain't getting capped. Like it was kind of cool, but like I was more or less just voting against Elden Ring. No disrespect from Soft, don't hate me. I just don't like the idea of DLC being one of the picks. So seeing that, you know,
Stop.
so seeing that they won, and I mean, I already know a lot of the categories and stuff don't make sense, bro. I couldn't tell you who won what, and I was there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I could tell you who won what from the games that I'm happy that won. Like, I can tell you that Hellblade won, like best sound, like best sound design, in in a and an old girl won the award for best performance. Like, I can tell you that type of stuff. Sorry.
Ingrid Hawkins, if you're in the terminal, please make your way back to the
Damn,
gentleman's
she's still talking.
to retrieve.
Huh?
All right, there you go. All right, but that was a long announcement right there. But anyways, dang, I don't even remember what I was talking about. But yeah, I mean, all in all, bottom, bottom line. Oh shit! Like, this thing is about to die, bro. Like, like I don't know. This isn't good. Things are looking rough over here. But oh man, I'm trying to turn everything down. These Ham Solo's doing, things are getting critical right now. Things are really critical right now. Energy save and everything needs to be turned up. Turn it up. Turn it up. I don't know. I'm in panic mode, so screw it. I'm just gonna just ride it out until it dies. Um, all in all, that show was all about just celebrating the year in general, having a good time, everybody being kind of together. It's kind of the place to be if you want to meet people. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really is. It's kind of the place to be if you want to meet people for this, weekend or whatever, right?
I don't like
And
saying words.
and it's very similar to that with Summer Game Fest and stuff like that. So there's that. But it was amazing seeing the trailers like front and center and getting to see people talk about it live that actually work with the companies and stuff like that. Seeing Harrison Ford on stage was that was amazing, right? So I mean, there was definitely some really cool things, but I think that's all it was just everybody showing out. It's just a show out soiree essentially. I enjoyed it.
You don't know
But
about
I don't
showing
know.
out.
I don't know how serious you should take it. It isn't competitive like actual sports or anything. I don't feel like they have a proper bar that they go based off of. I enjoyed the hell out of it though, and I'd go back again. I'm not sure if I'd go back the very next year, but I'd go back again. I'd do it again. Man, this place expensive though,
Huh.
bro.
So what was the high
It
point?
is expensive. Well,
So what was the high point of the show for you? What was the low point? Was there a low point?
The low point was not being able to bring drinks into the auditorium. I was like, what are we doing here? I'm sitting here thirsty the whole damn presentation.
Well, you should have pre-planned.
I drank plenty, but then it's just like, then you just go pee a lot.
Well, that sounds like you
Cozy,
did
I'm
not
not doing
prepare
this
yourself.
tonight. I'm not doing this with you. But that was the low point. As a show wise, the low point. I don't know, man. There wasn't a whole lot of show. I guess the low point is the same as what it usually is, right? Like, the recognition to the rewards. But then again, it was like 3 hours, bro, and I was tired by the time it was over. So it's just like you gotta trade one for the other. So I see why they kind of go big the way that they do. Not that I'm saying that it's right. I'm just saying I see why they do what they do.
Once again,
And it was fun. God damn.
1820.
Oh my
Is that at
god.
the airport or the hotel? I wonder.
That's got to be the airport.
Yeah, that was it. No, that was now. But the high point, man, I don't know. There were so many good ones. The Naughty Dog thing was amazing to me. I thought it was dope. Like,
Keep
I
it
mean, I
together.
did.
Cozy. Keep it together, Cozy. God damn it.
I thought it was amazing. I mean, if you're super hyper focused on what the character looks like, then I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. But I'm more or less like more interested in seeing what the gameplay looks like. I didn't see very much gameplay. Everything looked nice, right? To me, it was like showing me a concept car. It's like, we ain't put this on the road yet. Look nice. Like, I mean, that's kind of what it looks like to me. I mean, it even had a Porsche on there, right? Like, it's like, what is that doing?
Yeah, they sure did.
So, it had a Porsche symbol on there, and it had a Sony radio. But what's going on? Up, I'm out.
Oh,
I don't know. It looks like my screen's turning off, bro. This shit is cooking right now. I can feel the air coming out the top. It is cooking.
It's about to crash.
It says I got 3% right now. Critical. Anyways, I don't know. There was a lot of high points. Virtua Fighter was a good look, right? From Sega. Sega was killing it. They even had the racing
Sega's
game,
been killing it.
right? Oh well, yeah, I know, right? They should be like the publisher of the year for sure or something. I don't know.
Attention passengers.
Let's see.
We have Haley Caitlin.
Man, they disrespected me right before my shit about to die.
Security checkpoint.
Well,
But
get modern hardware.
But anyway, shut up, Cozy. You are not doing anything right now. Anyways, shit. Borderlands 4 was a good look to me. I'm excited to see what ends up being that game. That might be. Oh, my shit is like just going black and then turning back on. This shit is about to die. I don't even know if y'all can hear me anymore.
I can't hear you.
Oh, we hear you.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah, but I don't know. I can't wait to be on Monday's show to talk about it. This weekend, I'm just gonna crash out. Like it's been a crazy couple of days. I'm gonna have a bunch of stuff to share on the show on Monday. That's gonna be pretty fun. And then I'll run some like snippets of that on some shorts or whatnot for those of you, or make a smaller pieces of the show for some of you. Cut that piece of the show for some of you guys so you could just see what the actual trip was like.
Bye.
There he goes.
I think that's it. I think that was the 3%.
All right.
Yeah.
Time to get back to the real business.
Oh my god, Cozy. What the hell is wrong with you, girl? let's get back to the awards. Best action adventure. Okay, let's leave that alone. Best RPG. Metaphor Refantasio. I think that's fine. I like
Yeah,
that choice.
yeah.
All right. Best fighting game. Hell to the motherfucking year. Tekken 8. I would have been okay if Dragon Ball Sparking Zero had won it. I would have been okay with that because
I think
apparently
multiverse is better.
Oh,
I don't know nothing about no multiverses, but I heard that Dragon Ball is amazing. But yeah, Tekken 8 is a good winner. Definitely a good winner. Best family game. This is the only award Astrobot should have won last night.
But is it a family game though? Like this is the one
you
I
can't
had.
play. Is it multiplayer?
Exactly, like it's a single player game versus
So
Super Mario Party. How is it the best family game?
Oh shit! Are you saying even this award they shouldn't have won?
yeah.
No, they
No,
should have won a lot of
I
awards.
think
You
this
said
award
yes.
makes a lot of sense though, just
It
because it's
doesn't though,
about
because it's a single player game for family.
Honestly, are a lot of kids playing Astrobot? I thought it was mostly old people who loved PlayStation.
no, but there were people out there who were saying like they were playing it with their kids, and because kids can't pick up this game, like this is a bonding moment between like father, mother, and child or whatever. So I would put it down as a family game. It has the aesthetics for sure.
I guess it is
Hi-Fi
better.
Rush was a bonding moment for my second son.
Hmm.
I mean, if
He,
that's the
he
case,
only
then
plays FIFA. He only
most things
plays
are
FIFA,
bonding moments.
but he dropped FIFA to play Hi-Fi Rush. So
I think it should have been best kids game.
jeez, I don't think there's a this is code for kids in my opinion.
Yeah,
Family.
Family.
best family game doesn't make any sense here. If they called it
Yeah.
kids game, then fair enough. Like by all means, but
Or
like
all ages.
yeah,
Something
like
like that.
up against Super Mario Party, you're telling me the single player Astrobot wins best family game.
Mario
Okay,
Party just isn't that good though. That's
It
probably
isn't.
why I
that's
didn't.
Actually, I'm surprised
that's
it's there.
fair. That's fair, but that's a better family game than Astrobot because your family can take part in it. I just off of
Met
that merit alone.
Mets being very awfully specific, guys, and
Mm.
words mean something.
Well, I have the list for last year, right? So it was Disney Illusion Island, Party Animals, Pikmin 4, Sonic Superstars, and Super Mario Bros. Wonder, which is what won it. And that's a single player
Party
game.
Animals was better.
Yeah, but like if you think about it, Super Mario Bros. Wonder won it. Is that a family game?
Is it single player?
Yeah.
Then no, it's not.
Okay.
And also now we know why the Super Mario what was it? Super Mario Party didn't win because you can't sweep twice. You can't win twice.
I think it's an aesthetics thing. If you look the parts, they'll probably just give it to you.
If you're a Kojima
Yeah,
game, sure.
We
and
should make
and
like
I agree
cute.
with that
We
too.
should make a game called Cutie Sexy, and it's like a NSF
W
W game, and but it looks so cute and adorable that people think it's a party game.
just wins
Keely
best
would lose
family
too
game.
many sponsors for that. Let's move on. Best sim strategy game, Frostpunk 2. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No fights, yeah. Best
I
sports.
I honestly
Okay.
think that's like not the best one. I love
Yeah.
Frostpunk, but it,
So there is a fight here.
Which one's better?
I think as far as if we're talking about actual
Strategy,
sim
yeah.
and strategy,
Yeah.
um Age of Mythology or Manor Lords. Unicorn Overlord wasn't even
That's
that good.
that's like an RPG
Unless you're
also.
like a weeb.
Yeah, those games are.
You know what,
I don't.
Cozy? That's not crazy. Age of Mythology, that's not crazy.
Yeah, Mythology and Mana Lords are like proper strategy games. I don't
Yeah.
know what the freaking hell the rest of that stuff is.
I think so what you call it? Yeah, I feel like
I played Kunitsugame and it does have management, but it's
so
not well done. It's not well done.
Frostpunk though, Frostpunk is a really great game, but it doesn't capture the sim. There's no strat. I mean, there's strategy, but it's not strategy like that, and the simulation aspect isn't necessarily strong, despite the fact that it is like kind of a.
Yeah, it's strategy, but more like resource strategy. The sim part,
It's more like a resource management game.
yeah,
Um,
it might be better to be like a survival game, which is
Yes,
weird.
survival.
so
I
you
think
you wouldn't
Frostpunk
say it's
definitely.
a simulation game though? Don't you have to like build cities and stuff like that?
No, you don't build a city. Your
Or,
city
like
is already.
you manage a city.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I
But
mean
the
that would.
management aspect, I think, is like it's. I would say Frostpunk specifically, the strong part for me is the survival aspect.
Yeah,
Okay.
it has more to do with survival. Because I played the first one, and I'm guessing the second one's similar. But
No, it's
yeah,
actually very different. People have said the first one was more about like connecting with different people and making decisions on the ground level, whereas the second one is more about it's more grand. So you're more dealing with building blocks, city districts in terms of growing your population outward. So it's more it's more presidential, put it that way. Some people
really.
didn't like that change though. Some people like this. Some people didn't like it.
Oh, dude. Now I have to play it because it was in my backlog, but I wasn't in a rush. Now you're making me want to. You know what? I don't have the time. I don't have the time. Next, best sports racing. EA Sports FC 25. Um,
I thought NBA would have won it, to be honest,
why?
No,
or
dude,
WWE 2K.
I'll tell you what. As someone who buys 2K every year, um, this is probably the worst one they've made in a, a decent time. The
No,
worst
no.
one this gen, probably.
I think on a side note, I think there's gonna be a problem with the next football game that FIFA wants to make because
Ah, yeah.
they don't have the like you don't have the football team's license. You're going in really short-handed here, and
No, actually, FIFA does have the licenses.
no, they don't.
They do.
No,
Here-
FIFA has
Here's
a. Go ahead, sorry.
FIFA have the licenses for everything. What used to happen before is FIFA would contract EA, and then EA would make what's it? They would
FIFA.
make the FIFA, right? FIFA 19, FIFA whatever. Now FIFA have taken back their rights, and they're going to make their game with all the rights. And now EAFC has to pay FIFA for a few rights or a couple of rights or whatever, but they don't get all the rights. That's why if you play EA Sports 25, there's less leagues because they decided to not do what Pro Evolution did. Because Pro Evolution was like, we're going to have all the leagues, but in the ones that we can't get a deal with FIFA for like the kits, the names, and all this other stuff, we're just gonna put random ass stuff, random ass names, and then the kids will be like plain black or plain red or plain whatever, and then they'd keep it pushing. EA Sports was like, we can't pay for everything, but we're going to pay for X amount, and then keep it pushing. So FIFA doesn't have to pay anyone for any rights because they own all the rights. Every club, every country on the planet is registered with FIFA.
No, I actually don't think that's accurate at all.
Okay.
I think we might be getting it. We might be getting it from two different sources. My understanding is FIFA owns the right to the name FIFA. That's it. It's kind of like that's all they'll control that. The Premier League though owns their own rights. So Liverpool owns their own
Yes.
rights, Arsenal owns their own rights. So FIFA has no say in any of that stuff. FIFA doesn't control those bodies. So what EA did years ago was EA got the rights to FIFA, so that's sorted out. Then EA had to go to all these teams and leagues and say, okay, can we get rights to your stuff? That's why in sometimes Konami actually had the rights to maybe some players or some teams or even some anthems. However, EA has all those rights. So when Andrew Wilson actually left the FIFA deal, he left the deal because he says, we technically have everything. We have the football players, we have the stadiums, we have all this stuff. We're paying millions just to use that name FIFA.
FIFA.
So screw FIFA and let's just keep all the rights. So now that EA has gone rid of that FIFA rights, FIFA has no rights to nothing. All they have is the brand name. However, this is why I'm having an issue, and I think the regulatory bodies need to step in, because no football team can create a game and you don't have the Lakers on it, or you don't have the the Wizards or the like whatever American teams you guys throw out there. It doesn't feel authentic. So I think this is actually a problem that the EU needs to step in, and they need to make sure that sorry, not FIFA, EA doesn't have exclusive rights to those titles. They can have exclusive rights to maybe the songs, maybe even the stadiums to an extent, but the teams,
Taye is
I don't know how
right.
that happens.
So the clubs license individually. The players are part of Fifth Pro, I think. So like for instance, that's why in Pro Evolution, to your point, some of the clubs would be licensed some of the time, but like with FIFA and EA, what they would do is they would just pay the whatchamacallit right through. Like they would have like a 5-year contract, meaning those clubs would be licensed them for that. Whereas I feel, or I think with Pro Evolution, they used to license year by year. So every year, some of them would renew and they would pay for some licenses, but the players themselves would always be genuine because they're licensed under a different body. I think it's called Fifth Pro. So it's yeah. So everyone, there's very different bodies that
So,
own
so
all the
the
rights.
division here is with teams, not with players. Send me
It's
this
with
link.
teams, leagues, and players. So each one of those are like differently licensed. It's not licensed under one umbrella. It's not like the NFL or the NBA.
Send me this link, Oshus. I want to do some
Yeah,
homework. Again.
you should do it. It's a really good read because when when everyone knew like FIFA was leaving, everyone was still like, "Oh, EA is screwed," but EA was like, "No, we're not screwed." And Andrew Wilson told them, the shareholders, it was like, "No, we have all the rights. We just lose the FIFA name." And then the mission then became, how do we transition all these players who are used to FIFA into EAFC? And that's actually one of the reasons why he got such a high bonus, because the marketing campaign had to be right. Because if you got that wrong, then there's going to be
And
confusion.
they did it well. They
They did
did it
it
well.
really, really well, and he got a
Yeah.
huge paycheck from the shareholders for that. Which I mean, I would give him too as well, because that's a huge change. You don't just go from NBA to something else. Migrating those players is very important, and yeah, he executed it really well.
Finally, a gaming exec earning his check. That's wild. Next, best multiplayer game, Helldivers 2. Any
I
any
would actually
conflict?
agree. I would actually agree here. I think that's fair.
All right.
I personally
Uh,
would go Warhammer, but it's whatever. Helldivers was great. That was great.
it was.
Next, best adaptation, Fallout.
Fallout, obviously.
I saw
W.
some salt. I saw some salt from Arcane fans.
Yeah,
Are they Arcane fan? They're fans of Arcane, but they aren't fans of probably the game.
I was surprised just given the reaction to Arcane. I know Fallout was huge, but I wanted Fallout to win, but I was kind of surprised they didn't give it to Arcane just based off of like recency bias kind of thing.
I think no. I think the thing is, I think a lot of those like a lot of like the people Arcane fans don't even play League of Legends.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who watch Arcane who don't play League.
I think it won is because Amazon's I think it has over 100 million viewers, so it's Amazon's biggest production, and it probably didn't cost as much as Rings of Power. Whereas Arcane costs a lot of money, and I don't think it's reached 100 million viewers at all. Like, so I think
Yeah,
Fallout
it's
has a
cancelled.
Fallout has a way wider reach. I had non gamers telling me, "Hey, have you seen this show Fallout?" And they didn't even know it's connected to the game at all. So the fact that
Yeah.
they were able to do that shows like they've kind of broken that zeitgeist element.
Yeah, Fallout is good.
Also,
This
their
year is
ability to
good.
capture the gaminess of Fallout in this TV show actually surprised me. Like people
Facts.
NPC walking. And there was like when that one guy started talking to her about giving her directions to town, and he's like, "Oh yeah, and my dad died over there, and my brother died over there." And I was like, "This is like those weird dialogue trees that you just go down, and you're just like, I wonder where this goes." It
Uh,
was.
yeah, it was weird. Wasn't he wearing diapers? The dude.
Yeah, but it was just so like if you weren't a fan, these were like just like interesting little funny bits. But if you played Fallout, you knew like, dang, they even got the NPC, dead soulless stare in there.
Yeah, yeah. It was good in its own right, and that's what won it, in my opinion. Next, most anticipated game,
GTA.
Yeah, this
GTA.
wasn't a
You know what?
competition, really.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm looking forward to the Ghost of Yote and Death
Same.
Stranding, but
Yeah.
yeah, hands down, GTA. Like that's the game.
Consolation prize, Metroid Prime.
Yeah, I guess. I guess.
No, no. So I think something people don't understand. Metroid has been like always, fantastic game. Yeah, they help spawn like their own genre thing, but they were never really that popular.
Yeah.
You're talking about Metroid itself or the Prime series?
Metroid itself was never really that popular.
Yeah, it's actually one of Nintendo's strongest IP that doesn't sell too well.
Yes, that's the best way to put it.
That's why I don't actually understand why. I thought it would have been smart if Nintendo showed a trailer at the Game Awards for it. I think out of all, like Nintendo's going to do what they want to do, sure. And I think at their own showcase, they're going to show this stuff. But I think because Metroid also leans a bit more towards the West in terms, I mean, Metro Prime does. It would have made sense for them to actually display it at the Game Awards. And I think that would have kind of drummed up some hype for that franchise a bit more.
I think at this point, Nintendo fans aren't like, man, I expect anything of Nintendo from the Game Awards.
Oh no! I'm not talking about Nintendo fans. Like, forget them. Like, they're always gonna show up. But I think it's fans who are like PlayStation and Xbox for them watching, and then to see Metroid, in high graphics, fidelity. That's gonna catch their interest because Metroid is a game that if you drop Metroid on Xbox and PlayStation, it sells really well.
I don't think it would.
You don't think so?
Yes, because Xbox and PlayStation gamers are mostly stupid, and they don't.
All right.
At its heart,
Metroid.
Metroid, the puzzle heaviness, like especially in Metroid Prime, it's a puzzle heavy game. It's like a 3D Metroidvania game.
I actually thought you were serious there for a second. You called them stupid. Okay, what point is that? Do you think Metroid sells more than Indiana Jones?
No.
Of course it does.
No,
It does.
no, not at all.
No,
all.
I mean,
I
it
think
sells
that
like
people-
on Nintendo. It sells like 1.4 million. It's never done.
Oh no!
It's
I mean,
never been
no. I mean,
a big franchise.
if you put Metroid Prime the new one on Game Pass and release on Xbox, you think it doesn't do better than Indiana Jones?
I think it doesn't. Because I think the people who care about Metroid are very far and few between.
Exactly.
I think every
every
Xbox gamer downloads Metroid Prime. 100%.
I would
No,
never
they don't.
download Metroid
No,
Prime.
they don't.
Nah.
I would. I absolutely would.
Look
but
at how
no.
well Castlevania games do on console.
It's like that's just not. They're a genre that doesn't have a large audience. I'm not saying it's a bad game. This is not the quality.
It's not. I don't think it's even large audience. I think it's just the wrong console. I think Metroid Prime is one of. It's a hardcore game.
It's not a hardcore game because guess what? Console gamers in general do not like puzzle games. They hate puzzle games, and Metroid at its heart is a puzzle game.
No. Metro Prime is a
puzzle game.
To an action
No,
adventure game.
it was not. There was very little shooting in Metroid Prime.
Yeah, but
it was mostly you just go here, unlock this puzzle thing, figure out this angle. Like the shooting was very minimal. Like you go hours.
Would you call Indiana Jones a puzzle game?
Yeah, but Indiana Jones is more popular by
Indiana
by a
Jones
fair
is a more
amount
popular
than Metroid.
IP.
It's the IP that draws the eyeballs in Indiana Jones. Blind Giant, welcome in, brother. Ron Slasher as well. Bring in the salt in the chat, Ron Slasher. Chill, bruv. Chill. Next, content creator of the year, Case O.
Okay. Congratulations to whoever that is.
Yeah.
No one cares.
Best esports game, League of Legends.
Yay.
Okay.
Best esports athlete, Faker.
Yay.
Okay.
No one cares.
Best esports team.
Oh my
Team
god.
Okay.
No one cares.
No, you can just at a certain point, like you can just skip
Yeah,
these.
just
No one
stop.
cares
Just
about
stop.
this.
All
Like,
right, all right.
okay,
Just skip these.
So those
esports,
were the
yay.
winners. So those were the winners from the Game Awards.
And we were all the
Um,
losers.
As
sorry,
always.
who were all the losers?
No, I said we were all the
Oh,
losers.
oh yeah, definitely. All right, let's get into the game announcements. This might end up being a 3-hour show. I'm just
I'm okay
warning
with it.
everyone.
I do
I mean,
gotta wash
I'm
my
good.
hair.
I'm good with it. All right, so Naughty Dog heads to space with Intergalactic, the Heretic
Going
Prophet.
backwards.
Um,
I have
our
some gameplay.
our local grifter, Oshus, had some stuff to say.
I don't even
Uh,
think the what you call looks bad. I don't even think the protagonist looks bad. It's like everything else about the game was kind of
yeah,
uninspired.
I
I've
kind of
definitely
like
got
the
thoughts.
protagonist. I like the protagonist. I
Like
like.
that was not the worst part about the game. Everything else for me was what made it It was like
Nah.
it felt so uninspired. I think that
It
was my
felt
I
like
problem.
an
just
ad.
I
Yes.
just feel like they go out of their way to take a beautiful actress and make her as bland as possible, which just begs the question: why did you even bother? Because this actress is quite she's pretty, and she's been in roles where you can tell that she's pretty, like in most of her roles. But they'll take an actress like this and then they'll just make her look, yeah, 2024. I don't
I
know.
honestly
I
think
liked her look. It reminded me of
I
Jax from
honestly
Mass
think her
Effect.
look kind of cool. But
Yeah.
I don't like her. I don't necessarily like her. Her attire. Like, yay, she's bald and just kind of cool, but
It's supposed to be Akira.
she doesn't look interesting.
It's supposed to be Akira inspired with the red jacket and
I get it,
like
but
80s.
it didn't come off as nearly
Yeah.
as intriguing as you'd think. I think. I don't think it came off intriguing. Yeah, I think she just looks like. I think the thing is, when you're hyper realistic, you have to be hyper something else to make it work. And it might be cool, but knowing it's Naughty Dog, I know it's not a game for me because I don't enjoy the whole shooting things or killing things to the next cutscene, and I don't think they're capable of doing anything else.
I'm
Matt,
so I'm excited for it simply like I made a video and I did like my top 5 things from this show and this made the top 5 and it wasn't because of the trailer. The trailer I think is kind of bad, honestly. Uh this made my list simply for the fact that it's Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog is one of my favorite studios. We haven't gotten a new IP from them and Jesus, God knows how long at this point. So it's a new IP from one of my favorite studios. That alone,
God
oh my
damn!
god,
Sorry.
Jesus,
No, it was Raichi's comment.
my god, we haven't gotten a new IP from them in a long time, so I'm excited for that. I just think the trailer kind of was meh. It felt like an ad for a bunch of different products that nobody needed to see.
Raichi, with the completely unnecessary violence.
That was unnecessary.
Yeah, damn. Like it's not even a super chat, but it deserves to be.
uh,
So yeah.
I think
Um, go ahead, Ty.
to Usher's point about like how she's beautiful, I think she is. Like if you actually look at her pictures, she's great. But I think if you look at it from a different point of view, you might understand what Naughty Dog is doing here. They take actors and actresses and they say, "Yeah, listen, you look good in these movies. You look good in pictures because you've done your makeup, you've done all this kind of stuff. We don't care about that. We're making a game that is based on realism. So when you wake up in the morning, how do you look like?" And I think when you look at this character, this person, um, are they similar? And the answer is yes, they are similar. And
yes.
when she wakes up, this is what it is. And I think what also goes to this is the whole. This is why I say it's similar to NASA Punk because when you go into her ship, you look at the corners. It's like dirty. There's like stains. Like this character and this game looks like they're just going for realism, similar to Last of Us. They're not going for that uncharted kind of. It's a bit bright look. They're going for like it's a specific look. And yeah, so
Yeah.
and just to reiterate my point, when you look at this character, when you look at this character, when she wakes up in the morning, is this how she look like? Yeah, That's what Naughty Dog is doing. Look at Ellie, look at Joel, look at all these characters in Last of Us. They all look relatively the same because they're going for realism.
I agree with that. That's a night. That's like whenever people are like, "Oh, she doesn't look hot like she does in her glam shot," I'm like, cringe and eye roll. You obviously have never been touched by anyone but your left hand.
I don't even know if like there's a picture of Sydney Sweeney, is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's on holiday and there's no makeup. She looks, I'm not trying to even go crazy like say she's bad, but she looks nothing like her pictures at all.
Yeah,
She looks
looks like a
makeup is
regular
like
person.
90% of the work.
And my thing is that's not why I play freaking video games. Like I
like
don't play video games to look at how people look in the freaking morning. It's like I get so annoyed with the with this whole like, this concept of like we're going for realism, so everything has to be ugly. I'm like, which world do you
She's
people
not
live in?
ugly.
Because she's not ugly. She's not
What world
ugly.
is she
But that's
ugly?
the whole point. You say like everything's supposed to be grimy and gritty and
No,
realistic.
She just looks
And
real.
No, because the point is like when a woman wakes up in the morning, she's not ugly, right? I'm not ugly when I wake up in the morning. No one's ugly when I wake up in the morning. So if you want to base a game of that character when they wake up in the morning, you wouldn't say they're ugly. You just say like, okay, you don't look glammed up. And I think that's kind of what it is. Like, in fact, if you look at the Japanese games, everyone is glammed up. Everyone has
All the
makeup
time.
on. Everyone looks perfect. Whereas now in the West, what we're trying to do, or what we're doing now a little bit more, is we're saying, no, let's not do that. Let's just kind
You're
of
taking the fantasy away.
People complaining about
yes,
Aloy's peach fuzz
Right.
in a post-apocalyptic future. Bitches
Giant.
aren't wearing makeup in like
Call it what it is.
post-apocalypse. You think they got time to
Cyberpunk
go to
proved
Sephora?
all of this. All that you guys are saying, Cyberpunk proved wrong. You can have attractive
No.
characters
Cyberpunk is very
and
different because Cyberpunk futures are also people getting modded
grimy
and
but still, like they still wake up in the morning, don't they?
put
But
on
Panem,
makeup.
you wake up next to Panem, she looks
See what you
fucking
did.
10
See
out
what
of
you did,
10.
Ty. Now everything's about waking up in the
It's a
fucking
very
morning.
different world.
That's
I
good.
guarantee you, a bitch riding around in a spaceship isn't gonna wake up in the morning and put on her makeup.
Yeah, I think cyber.
I-
Listen, I think Cozy said it perfectly. Like CD Projekt Red is going for a different kind of vibe and art style, right? Which makes sense. Whereas Naughty Dog, let's just be very clear, Naughty Dog is a specific kind of developer that makes specific kind of things. Or we can say, Neil Druckmann is. So when I see people say posts like, "Oh, this is a Neil Druckmann game," the truth is, yes, in the same way a Mario game or Pikmin game is a very Nintendo game, but we don't bash those games, right? So why
I
are we
don't
bashing?
disagree with what you're saying. I agree with what you're saying. I'm just saying, like, for me, aesthetically, their games are just not very appealing.
And that's
Um,
okay.
That's fair. That's
Do you know?
totally fair.
Oh, that is so fair. In the same way, when some people look at those Japanese games, they're like, "What the hell is this? Why is this person like a fucking 15-year-old girl? Like with a chest out? Like this
Because
is
that's
nasty,
what
right?"
they like.
Yeah, and that's fine. I think my main point is aesthetically, there's different things for different people,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
maybe the issue with Naughty Dog is because they're so good at doing what they do that people are annoyed that what they're doing, which is so good, isn't
Doesn't
for
work for
them.
them. Yeah, that is absolutely true because everyone wants, like, not everyone, but most people, they look at games from like every game should be for me instead of saying, well, that's not for me and just going on to the next thing. So they have to
And being
complain
okay with
when
it.
they want a Naughty Dog game, but they don't actually want a Naughty Dog game with the Naughty Dog
Yes.
aesthetics.
Yeah.
And that
You're
is fundamentally
spitting.
their problem. Like they'll be like, "Oh, this game will be so much better." Like, when they had the whole thing where they were fixing what's her name? Aloy?
Fixing, yeah.
And I'm like,
Idiots.
she just looks like a regular howdy do person in
that's not
that
Naughty
world.
Dog though.
No,
That's,
but I'm saying is they go for they were going for a similar aesthetic.
oh,
They weren't trying
yeah,
to
like
make a glammed up looking chick in a world where they don't even have makeup
Yeah.
for real.
So like for me again, like the appearances aside, like I just don't like. I think to your point in terms of like how Naughty Dog games play, like Last of Us is probably the only time they've pulled it off where the moment to moment action sometimes speaks to the cutscenes. Whereas Uncharted, I mean, Nathan Drake is a murderer. He kills so many people, and then the next moment he's bantering with his girlfriend like nothing happened. So like there's always like this disjoint in terms of like how they sort of I don't know, like I just feel that the games are very movie like in that sense. Like they don't give you a lot of room or nuance to sort of stretch the story out. And this
So
to me is proof of that. Like this and that's why I'm really not it doesn't appeal to me. The aesthetic stuff is also part of that. They've sort of made that their trademark.
I
with
agree
Last
with your other part because that's my same issue I have where I don't fundamentally other than Last of Us, I fundamentally think I could just watch this game instead of just waiting through hordes of people just to get to the next cutscene.
I think sorry. I think about Bethesda as well, right? I never liked the aesthetics of Skyrim or even the graphics. And then I saw Fallout 4 as well, and I was like, why is like this? Make better looking games. But then at some point, you just realize, like, this is just Bethesda. This is what they do. This is how their engine is, and this is what they like to make. I would prefer it if Bethesda's character models looked a little bit different. I know some people have modded characters to look like I wouldn't even say better, just different. And I actually prefer those models. But like I said, this is what Bethesda does, and I just gotta deal with it. Either I don't play the game or I play the game. But
If
that's their
someone
vision.
could mod out those flipping cutscenes
That's
every single time you walk into a building, those loading screens on Starfield,
that's not
I
gonna
would
happen.
pay.
Oh, wait,
I
what are you
would
playing
pay.
Starfield on? Are you playing Starfield on your computer?
Oh no, I'm playing it on my Xbox.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, the load. I will say the loading time. Like it doesn't bother me the way it bothers like, but the loading times on Xbox. Like I'm actually just walking around in Starfield right now, and loading times on Xbox are exponentially slower than they are on my PC.
I
Like a
I
lot
think
slower.
part of the thing is I'm actually disappointed by how fast they are is because I did all this photography in the game and I don't even get to
Yeah.
show it off.
Yep. Yeah. Those
Yeah,
load screens on PC, depending on what you have,
yeah.
they go by quick,
You don't even need something really
very quick.
powerful actually.
That's true. Because
Well,
it's just yeah.
according to the site, can I play that game? My specs, I can play it on the recommended settings.
No, you
Oh,
can't.
I don't know. I play it windowed
Um,
at 130.
Wait,
do you guys not
I
really get
can't play it on my specs, Matt.
What's that?
I'm saying I can't play Starfield on my with my laptop.
You said you have a 2060 and I forget your processor.
I don't
Um,
know what the fuck the processor is.
the 2060, I'd just go ahead and be honest and say no,
No,
no.
you
I mean,
sure?
you could play anything if you're okay with what you're seeing. Like you
Low
could lower the
settings.
you could lower the settings down to low and play it on 720p and probably get like 60 FPS. And if you're
Um,
cool with that, then by all means,
No,
like
I'm not cool with that.
how
do
much
it.
video memory do you have on your card, Luke?
It's
Ah,
six
dude,
gigabytes,
you
right?
see, now you're starting with. I don't know. I don't know.
It's well, if it's a 2060, right?
Yes, 2060.
So it's 6 gigabytes, which isn't by today's standards a lot of video
I'm not sure
memory.
what that means.
Um, but yeah, like if you lower settings and play at a reasonable resolution, you can probably play Starfield.
No, in
Well,
fact,
So
I'm not.
then you're gonna play it on Xbox and you're gonna deal with the load screens.
I don't even know
Fuck
I
those
yeah,
loads.
I don't I guess maybe because I don't have the fanciest uh but I'm happy with the choosing the not fancy build. But I run mine windowed, so I don't notice that a lot of that stuff because you always have to have Sims running.
Always, always.
Always.
Um,
Until your memory it gets like to like the 90 percentage all the time, even when you have nothing running except for Sims, then you just got like, okay, I gotta restart Sims.
all right. So, before we move on to the next one, what are the predictions for the Metacritic rating? Cozy, what's
For
your
Two.
this,
prediction? 2 out of 100.
No, it's going to be a 95.
95. That's a lot.
I'm not saying it's going to be good. I'm saying it's going to be a 95.
All right, Matt.
we're doing the Metacritic predictions
Yeah,
for this.
yeah.
Oh my god! I mean, shit.
I predict
Well,
these
it's
nuts in your mouth.
here's the thing, Cozy. Quit talking about your balls. It's here's the thing. This is gonna come out. It's gonna get whatever attention that it gets. And it's because it's Naughty Dog, and because they make quality things, whether you like them or not. They make quality things. It'd probably score in the 90s. If I had to guess, like a 93, I'll go with that.
Yo, you guys have real faith in this game.
I mean,
92,
they don't make things that aren't quality. Whether you like the story being told,
yeah,
they do not make things that are not quality.
I say this is someone who's not going to play this game and wouldn't probably like. There's a 99% chance I wouldn't even like this game, so I wouldn't even try and buy it or anything. But
92. All right, Ty, what's your prediction?
I'm gonna go with like 88s, like, but I'm saying minimum 88s.
what, hater? You just hate Naughty Dog.
You're now an
Um,
8.
I'm saying that primarily because I think from a gameplay perspective, it's going to be better than The Last of Us. I think they're going to they must have improved vastly since then. And Naughty Dogs make very good gameplay cinematic games, so I think this is going to fit that bill, especially because she has a weapon. It's going to be up close and personal, right? So
Yeah.
that's something. I don't know what's going to happen with that ship. I don't know if that's going to be like your home base, like Star Wars Jedi Survivor or whatever, but do we get to fly it? Like, is it going to be like Mass Effect or is it going to be like Starfield? I think that's going to be important in terms of exploration. I don't know if it's going to be a situation where we can actually talk to different people now. Are we just playing the Last of Us game, or is it more like, hey, you could go talk to this person, go do this mission for this person, do some side stories like Cyberpunk? I think these are very important questions that would help out, that would help flesh the character out a lot more. But regardless of all that, just based on what I know or feel and Naughty Dog's history, I would say 88.
Okay, Oshus, what's your Metacritic prediction for Intergalactic?
98. So this game will cure cancer and it will
Oh,
change your life.
Oh,
sarcasm.
After
I
you
thought
play
you were
this
gonna
game,
say
there
you
will
can't
never be
wait to
another
it,
game
so
again.
0.
No, like it's gonna be like that's what the quotes are gonna be like. It's all this, and it's from Eurogamer, from IGN, the most
You leave
revolutionary
IGN
game
out
ever
of this, please.
ever
I'm sorry,
made.
the IGN is
Well,
trash.
it's a PlayStation game. You know, IGN's it's a lock. 10 out of
It
10.
will win all the
On that
Game of the Year awards. Yeah, dude, like all that stuff, all that fluff. Yeah, so 98 is what I predict. And then of course it will get an audience rating of like, or a user score of like 2 point or 1.8 out of 10. But yeah, quote me on that.
From all the grifters. From all
From
the
all the
grifters.
grifters and incels, of course, because you know most.
Can I add something to
We
that
can't
real quick?
stand progressive games or progress.
Yeah.
To add something to that, I think Naughty Dog's Last of Us 2, I think they kind of slipped up a little bit with the Left, I believe, that character in Last of Us 2. And I think even with Abby, it felt a bit forced. It felt like they were trying to force a story in there that just didn't really seem to connect with their original writing of The Last of Us 1. So I'm thinking that they might have learned from that. In the same way, maybe EA might have learned from the Bioware backlash. They're like, hey, you know what? We don't need to force these things, right? So I'm hoping in this game, we don't really get any awkward moments like that. Everything just feels natural. And if it is natural, then maybe I'll push it up to like a 90.
We've already got an awkward level of product placement, so the game.
Yeah, that was a weird
Well,
trailer.
You
actually,
guys
this
need
is
to
another
chill.
question. Do you guys actually think that's a bad? I thought this was okay. I don't know why people were crying about
I
it.
don't think it. I think
I
it's a bad
It doesn't
thing
fit.
because it's like you. It's like you don't need to look at these brands in the game.
Yeah, because my problem with it is that when I because for me, I can only speak for myself. When I was watching this live, I was like, oh, it's probably Naughty Dog. I assumed it was Naughty Dog because of how Jeff was acting right there. So I'm expecting Naughty Dog. The camera pans back, a ship comes out in front of it, and then you just see like I just saw that Porsche logo, and I'm like, now instead of like watching the trailer and trying to enjoy it for what it is, I'm just like, God, there's a fucking ton of product placement here, and it's awkward. It's like it becomes more about that product placement than it does about what you're showing me. And I did
Cheapens
not
it.
like that trailer.
I think
Yeah,
it cheapens
it
it.
makes it not feel special. It just feels like he's running an ad for these companies as opposed to showing me a game.
I think it'd have been actually cooler if they had like they could highlight those things, but they made their own brands.
Do you
Yeah.
think this Sony placement was odd?
Yes, but
And
then
all of
again,
it felt
Sony.
odd.
But then again, Sony always does that. Like I think it's odd, but they always do that. They did it with Last of Us. There's PS3 and Last of Us Part One. I'm pretty sure there was I want to say the Walkman and Part Two. Like they love their own product placement, but it was just the other stuff like seeing
Adidas
Porsche,
and
seeing
Porsche.
Adidas. It's like what? What am I watching?
It's so because I was talking to like a friend about this, and I was saying how when we play racing games, we don't mind driving, all these cars that are good
Toyotas and
brands,
Mhm.
right?
Mercedes Benz.
When we play FIFA or football games, we don't mind Nikes on our shoes. It's perfectly fine. Even
Yeah.
GTA, we might not even mind some of these songs that are from all these rappers or whatever it is. So we seem to have an issue with these product placements. But the truth is,
Yes.
even when I think about The Last of Us, is it so odd in a post I'm not gonna say this shit
Apocalyptic.
Apocalyptic.
apocalyptic world that is based on our world to
Mhm.
see a broken MacBook that's destroyed. I don't think so. I think that actually adds to the realism.
No, I
Is it
don't. I don't
No,
think.
in The Last of Us, I actually think it's what you call it. But this is a game in the future. Who the fuck even says Adidas still
Well,
exists?
it's not even in the future. It's
yeah,
1986.
it's actually quite recent. Like I think the shoes
It's
actually make
alternative
sense.
reality 1986.
Mm.
Yes, it's not the
Yeah.
future.
Yeah, I think like listen, actually the only thing I noticed was actually the Adidas shoes, and I thought, okay, that's perfectly fine. Like it makes perfect sense to me. And then I noticed the Sony sign. I didn't even notice the ship one. But even that, then I'm thinking,
They
yeah, that
should have
makes
picked a.
sense
They should have
because
picked
But
a
like
Zuzu.
again, like my point again, I'll refer to Cyberpunk. Same thing. Cyberpunk does all this stuff, but like all the
Better.
brands are like, well, not all of the brands. Like Porsche's there, but like that's like a very. It's not part of the advertisement. But like they've
No.
got like brands with sports cars and all these like high fashion and whatever, and you can recognize some of it, but it's not product placement. It's not distracting.
They don't
That's the
pan
thing.
in on it and be like,
Yeah,
"Bam!
Yeah.
Look at this product."
It's
and like
also it's also the fact that this is the first thing I saw this game was a Porsche logo.
They should
That's
have
dumb
picked. They
to
should have
me.
picked a Zuzu or a Suzuki. It would have been cooler.
But hold on, I think I think that's a good point maybe with Cyberpunk. But I think the difference here is, when you do play the game, it wouldn't even matter because you wouldn't be thinking about all this like brand logos, right? It would be like Cyberpunk.
Exactly.
It would just be like play the game and enjoy it. I actually think this was just a money play in terms of like, hey, we're gonna be at the Game Awards, which is gonna have 100 million people watching. Adidas, do you want to make some money from this? Sorry, do you want to give some money to Jeff Keighley a little bit? So I think that this is what it is. Like Game Awards has always been about advertising as well, right? So
I
I think
agree.
this makes sense to me. When we're actually playing the game, I don't think anyone's gonna really look at the Porsches or whatever. Like if the gameplay is good, the story is good, and then you see like somebody you're
No.
like you're hooking up or talking to, in a Nike hoodie, like you're not gonna really care. You just want to take that shit off properly. It's gonna be natural.
I
Also, Death
agree.
Stranding. Death Stranding had
Monster, right?
a lot of product
Yes,
placement,
yes.
but no
And
people weren't bitching. So
I totally agree with what you said, Ty, right there. It's just the fact that that's exactly why this trailer was bad to
Mm,
me. It's not that the game's going to be bad because there's Adidas or Porsche or whatever company they want to throw in there. Like that's an afterthought once the game is in your hands and you're playing it. It's the fact that your first showing of it, my first impression of your game is a Porsche logo.
mm. I got that.
Doesn't get me excited. That's not a good trailer.
Mm.
maybe they'll put some nice racing sequences. You never know. Anyways, let's
Maybe.
move on. Okami 2, finally. It only took 25 years. Okami 2 was announced. What did you guys think?
I thought it's good to come back. I'm surprised it's here. Maybe because technology's gone better, so it's cheaper to make these kind of games. But the first Okami game, I'm pretty sure it flopped. That's why we never got a sequel. So I think that's more of the surprise. Like, oh, you're making a second game. Even though the first one didn't do well at all. Um, but yeah, listen, it's good to see it. So hopefully it does well. Hopefully this time people actually buy the game. Show
Yeah.
supports to
Yeah.
the devs. But we'll see.
Anyone else? Nothing. All right. All right. Fine. Next, The Witcher
Just
4.
one last thing on Akami. I really hope they change the voice track or the it had the most annoying dialogue in the world because like you can't make the voices out, but it's this weird squeaky annoying noise in the back, like whenever they're talking. Like I had to play it with the volume off.
Let's hope. We
Mm.
can only hope. After Okabe, The Witcher 4 was revealed. Oshus, the grift.
Wait, what are we grifting about on this?
I didn't really care for this simply because again, like my main gripe with this is the whole CG trailer thing for us, especially for a CD Project Red game. These guys, I do not trust them with anything that's not
Uh-huh.
representative of gameplay. So I have a
Uh-huh.
problem with this because again, this is years away, and all they're showing us is CG. I would have loved to see a proof of concept in terms of because the one complaint that a lot of people had with The Witcher 3 was the combat. And I would have loved to see what series actually going to be able to do in combat. Just a slice, maybe just a minute of just gameplay, something. This to me tells me nothing about the game. Absolutely nothing. I didn't feel anything for this. I was just like, oh, okay, Witcher 4 series, everything that they'd already predicted or had already been leaked was in this. So there was, to me, I felt nothing.
All right. Anyone else?
I mean, I'm excited. Like, I'm excited for Witcher 4, but like this game, I feel like this is one of those things like where they showed Cyberpunk like back in like 2012 or 2013. Like this game probably isn't coming out until like mid next gen. So I'm not even really like it's cool. It's cool that they're working on it. It's cool that they showed us a thing, but I can't get super hyped if I'm not going to be playing it within like the next 5 years.
I'm not too sure about so initially I'm not a fan of Siri. So when I saw the freaking hood get pulled out, I was like, motherfucker, like why you pick this woman? So that's number one. And number two, I thought it was better if they actually went down the cyberpunk route, which is create an original new Witcher that you can change the looks or whatever, make them woman, man, black, white, whatever. I think that would have pleased a lot of people. Um, so the fact that they didn't do that kind of surprised me, but it's okay. It's Siri. She looks good. She looks like a badass. And I think this trailer is representing, obviously the vibe of the first game. I think the first game's trailer came out in it came out like 9 years ago as well, and it's quite similar as well. So I think it's expected. When is this game going to come out? Probably the next 4 years, 5 years. I think that's okay.
I think that's
No,
optimistic.
can't count 5 years.
Well, when did this game go into full production? It was last year,
Just
right?
recently.
Just recently.
Just very recent. Like they just announced it like a
Oh,
couple
okay.
weeks ago.
Okay, so probably 5 or 6 years then.
I own a lot of the copies of The Witcher, but I've never played more than like 5 minutes of the first game.
I'll say one thing about this actually is that we got to keep in mind that they have a foundation to pull from. They have the world created, they have their characters, they have all these things, they have Novigrad. So it's not as difficult as making like a whole brand new IP like Cyberpunk, right? Well,
Yeah.
Cyberpunk is a little bit different as well, but like, yeah, you guys get what I'm trying to say. So they're pulling from something and they're pulling from potential, maybe experience as well.
I'm excited to see if the gameplay is better. Look at me in my professional jacket. I'm pretty much like Loke.
Yeah,
Yay, Texas!
one of the problems with
nice.
Yeah, you do. One of the problems with the Red Engine and Cyberpunk was that like that engine just couldn't really deal with driving cars, shooting guns, all that kind of stuff. Like CD Projekt Red experience is fantasy swordplay with magic. So
Yeah.
they're kind of returning back to the roots. Even with Starfield, like I could probably guarantee that if Bethesda had chosen to make a Elder Scrolls 6 instead of a Starfield, we would have got it earlier, maybe 2 years earlier, because that is something
Definitely.
they know. So CD Projekt Red is returning to the roots. So I think we can expect it in maybe 5 to 6 years, to be honest.
Definitely. I'm actually interested to see the gameplay. I don't really play RPGs where you can't customize things, but I am interested to see the gameplay.
Yeah. Do you not think it's I mean, do you not think that it would have been better if they actually created an original new character where you
No,
could
I
actually
don't think it would have been
customize?
better. I think this works for it. It just doesn't work for me.
Okay.
Yeah, Siri, like I know you said you don't like Siri too much, but like there's definitely a lot of people. Like I'm pretty excited to play as Siri simply for the fact like in Witcher 3, I thought Garrett was cool. Garrett's like the main thing, obviously, but like the parts where you play as Siri, like what Siri could do in that game was pretty damn awesome. So having a full game of that, I'm excited. I'm
I think
pretty sure
I
there's like a
think
lot of
it
people
works
also.
within this, like their decision to have her as like the in Witcher 3, Witcher 4 is like very very good. Um
Do you guys think that there's gonna be a? I mean, there isn't, but do you think there would have been an issue with the canon situation? Because in some parts of Witcher 3, Ciri dies, Geralt dies, but it seems like CD Projekt Red is saying that like, nope, we're just gonna
I
erase all
think
that.
I mean, let's be honest, unless they're just like going straight from the books, people who argue my canon are like cringe and eye roll.
Also, it's like they, as far as because games like that let you have choice and different outcomes and all sorts of things, they usually pick a canon ending to the thing,
yeah,
and
we can move on with
and
it.
yeah, and so like the canon ending for most people, Siri doesn't die, and now she's going to be in Witcher 4. And if Siri did die in your playthrough, well, then you didn't get the canon ending.
You did it wrong. You got the
Yeah.
Yeah,
bad ending. You
yeah.
suck.
The only issue in terms of canon, and I'm not into Witcher that much, right? But I saw a Witcher fan point out like people need to shut up about bitching that Ciri is the main protagonist because she's a woman. The real focus that everyone should be focusing on is the fact that she's a woman and she's taking those potions. Apparently, women in this universe cannot survive those potions.
Ciri's a god
Only
though.
she's a
And
what?
she's too
Yeah.
old.
She's a god.
Like you need to.
Did you say she's a god, Ty?
Yeah, so she has like elder blood or whatever, right? That she has
Uh,
magic.
No, it just makes her immortal, but like it doesn't make her a god. But like,
Oh, I
and
mean,
she's
yeah,
too
Oh, so
old
it
obviously,
makes
like
her
to be
immortal.
extreme.
So
Witcher.
why then of course she can do it because it makes her immortal.
Yeah,
Is
but
she immortal though?
it's not even to say that it kills you. You
She can live
need
very long,
you need to be a man for the potions to even have an effect.
Well, how do you know what's in her pants?
and you need to be like a kid. I mean, like there's a reason they give it to you like when you're like they start witches off very like young, and like she's way too old. Like as an adult, it will kill you. You can't survive it. So maybe they'll explain all that stuff.
Yeah, I think they will. Like, I mean, the default stance is like she's just elder blood, right? Like she has powers and shit. Like
They'll
she she can
definitely
she,
they'll
she can
definitely explain.
teleport.
They'll
So I
definitely
think
explain how it works, and then anyone that disagrees with it is
Matt, have you played these games?
sexist.
what?
Have you played all the games, the Witcher
No,
games?
not all the games. I played
Okay,
Witcher 3.
so you got to play Witcher 1, 2, and 3, and I'll watch.
Uh, I'll wait for the Witcher 1 remake. I'm not going to go back and play Witcher 1 right now.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible.
I'm all set with that.
All right. Anyone else have anything to say on The Witcher? Are we good?
Nice. It's the most owned game I've never played. That's all I can say.
I'm excited to play it in 2030, 2031.
I'm not interested in playing this game. but it's not because I'm a grifter.
Really? I can't
I'm
believe
not a
that.
I'm not a grifter like Oshus. Okay, I didn't like The Witcher 3, which had a male protagonist, so not grifting here.
I
All
honestly
right,
think the East for me, like more Eastern European thing, is like makes it a little more appealing. Because normally I'd be like, look at a world like this and be like, nah.
that's why you keep buying them, but then you never
Oh
play them.
no, I've never bought The Witcher.
You
People
said
just
She
it's
keep
just,
the
she
most
just,
people
owned game.
people have given it to me a
people have
lot.
gotten it before.
Oh God. Okay, you know what? Let's move on. Elden Ring Night Rain is a
Oh,
standalone co-op
oh,
spin-off.
I
oh
feel
man.
fancy in my I'm it's like I'm a sports broadcaster.
This dude, I'll tell you what. I had no interest in Shadow of the Earth Tree, not because it looked bad or anything. I'm sure it's great. I'm sure it's fucking incredible.
You need to have
But
interest in things.
Cozy, shut your mouth.
Oh.
Uh, I take that back. That was kind of
But
funny. But uh, I had no interest in Shadow of the Earth Tree, and like seeing this makes me want to play Elden Ring again. Like
What
Shadow of the Earth
about
Tree didn't do that, but this makes me want to play Elden Ring again, and I'm absolutely getting this day
Elden
one.
Ring?
And me and my friends are going to be playing that together
I
for
agree with
sure.
Cozy. Elden Ring.
What's that?
Cozy said Elden Ring. I'm with her on that one.
Yes, I
Let's see.
literally before the show I downloaded it on my Steam Deck.
Just because of this.
Yeah, because I want to get back into playing it again and get back into the groove of things. And I haven't played it on PC yet, really. So I'll make a new save and I'll make some progress and get back into it.
All right. Anyone else want to comment on Elden Ring? I think we lost Cozy.
I think this makes sense for them to do. To expand and have people playing the game. I would actually say if Sony bought them 4 years ago, this would definitely have live service.
And
By
thank God
now.
they did.
Yeah, like because I don't see Sony pushing live service and then From Software releases a multiplayer game that has no live service. They're gonna they spent like what was it, $5 billion on
Firework.
I don't know if I but Bungie, and then
Bungie.
they had like 10
Destiny.
live service games
All they had
in
to do
production.
was give us a PlayStation Home 2 for PSVR and and PC VR game, and shut up and take my money. I don't even want a VR system.
Hmm. One thing I think is important to note
Imagine Cozy with a PS5. That would be wild.
is that one of the guy actually making
It's
this
about as
game
big as she
is
is.
not Hideki. It is I think one of the a bit more junior guys. So I think it gives them good experience, right? So obviously hoping that this guy, if this is successful, he'll be able to maybe go create his own separate team, and then they can expand and start making new different types of games.
I mean,
Rachie
you
says
don't know
From
anything about
Software
games.
dirty liars. They said no sequel or more DLCs.
Well, they
Really?
didn't lie.
I mean, this is not a sequel or
They
DLC.
they did say that, and they worded it very cleverly because they said we at this time we are not working on Elden Ring 2. That's all they said. And this is not Elden Ring 2, and it is not DLC because it's a standalone thing. So they're smart. They did their
Yeah.
homework on that.
Specifics. Okay.
How much do you think they charge for this?
$50. But I could also see 60. Elden Ring was 60. I could see them doing 60.
Damn. And
Um,
I saw someone that was salty on Twitter saying that FromSoft can get away with murder
You
because
guys,
they're using an
I
engine
think
from 2011.
I think it's time to shut down Sims.
Yeah, it might be time, cause it might be time. Um, what do you guys think about this?
What does that
This
mean, though?
they
that
release a lot of assets, and I think that's okay.
So,
I think that's how the game has been kept cheap. But one thing I
Yeah.
will say is I don't know if it's just me. Like I feel like I'm gonna turn into one of these like graphic,
You're a graphic whore because you discovered computers. It's
no,
okay.
yeah, but like when you look at this
You'll overcome
trailer,
it.
the graphics are just bad. Like they're not
Bad.
great. They're just like look at this. It's like crap.
What? What?
My God,
Yeah, it doesn't look amazing. Like I mean,
Oh
I think
man,
Demon
these are
Souls,
takes.
listen, it's
the
probably my
PlayStation
laptop.
5
Guys,
launch.
it's probably my laptop. Don't
No, 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 no,
don't
No,
no.
no,
don't
no.
Like
I watched
like
this.
Elden Ring itself, like the graphics look so outdated. Like I mean, compared to Demon Souls,
Like look at
the
this.
remake
Dude,
for
Demon
PlayStation
Souls
5,
looks like garbage to me. Like
like the PlayStation 5.
fidelity, what like again, and this is the whole like art versus graphics thing that
Yeah.
people love talking about. Like Demon Souls objectively looks great if we're just saying look at the visual fidelity of Demon Souls. Looks fucking incredible. But I look at Elden Ring versus Demon Souls, which one is more visually appeasing to me? It's
Pleasing?
Elden Ring. And it's not really close.
No,
Artistically, yes, I
I agree.
agree,
Yeah,
but
I agree with that as well.
graphically, like I'm talking
Ty,
about just
okay,
fidelity wise.
y'all are wild.
Like
Fair.
the assets look low quality. It's very pixelated or very what's the word like it's just it's a very dated looking game. It looks like a game that would have been comfortable early in the Xbox One and PS4 era,
I
2015
don't
ish. Like
I mean,
I just
did
don't
you not
think it
see the
looks
lava falling down?
good.
Like it just looks so bland and stale. The game is great aesthetically. Like I think the game looks beautiful, and that's why it
Wow,
shines. But just from a graphical point of view, I mean, like, does it look like Baldur's Gate 3?
I agree.
Okay,
Does it look like Alan
okay,
Wake
that's
2?
enough blasphemy. That's enough blasphemy for one show. That's enough.
Did you see those fire effects? Like they're terrible.
I'm done listening to this heresy. All right.
yeah, I mean everyone's
Fumito,
got an opinion and everyone's
Game's
entitled
trash.
to it. Everyone is
Fumito
entitled.
Ueda's next game condemned Project Robot. This is not
Guys,
even
I
worth
might
saying.
actually have to hop out here because
Why? You
I
gotta go
gotta get
you
dinner
gotta get your
started.
dinner. Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Everyone
I'm late on
knows
that.
Matt and Dinner are a pair made in heaven.
You know what?
Well,
Actually, those are the big ones. Actually, those are the big ones. Everything else is just like sideshows.
all right.
Mafia, Dispatch,
Mafia
Star
looked
Stable,
really, really good.
Yeah, Mafia
Split
looked
It
pretty cool.
did.
Second.
Yeah.
Outer Worlds 2 is a
Onimusha
game
came
show.
back. That was a banger.
Yeah.
Outer
Yeah.
Worlds 2.
Outer Worlds 2 as well.
Ooh.
Game of the
You know
show.
what? This showcase was not terrible. It was not terrible. The last buzz off.
I mean, I
Final
was thinking this would
Fantasy.
be Last of Us 3 for some reason.
Final
Last
Yeah.
of Us Part
Fantasy.
2 on PC. I'll be
Everyone
getting
who
it.
doesn't like RPGs likes Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some DLC for Tekken. Borderlands 4. I thought it looked laughable. This doesn't look like Borderlands. Am I crazy?
It
I thought it
doesn't.
looked pretty good.
It looks
Didn't
interesting, but
play
it doesn't
much.
look like
It doesn't look
Borderlands.
good. I'm not saying it doesn't look good. I'm saying it does not look like Borderlands.
Yeah, that's fair.
Is the dude still there? Did he not sell this? Is he still helping develop this?
Randy
The
Pitchford.
weird dude. Yeah, that
Yeah,
dude.
But
he brought
does
it
it
out.
have Marcus to pull it all together?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Randy Pitchford was on stage to bring this out.
Okay.
I think this is so fucked. Like, I liked the
How fucked
cartoon
is it?
aesthetic. I liked the cartoon aesthetic. I don't know what the. This is so stupid. You know what? When people say homogenizing art, that's what's happening here.
But isn't this just a trailer that's not representative of gameplay?
No,
Yeah,
it could.
they showed gameplay. It looked like, I mean, to me, it looked like Borderlands, just a little bit shinier. I don't know, but then again, I'm not this huge Borderlands fan,
It
so
looks
I
like
Yeah,
they're trying to
neither am I.
You
do
know,
realism. It sounds like it looks like they're
yeah,
trying to do some
it looks a
realism
little. I
bullshit.
understand what you're saying. It does look real, and I don't like that either.
Yeah,
fair enough. Fair enough. I
I
thought it
prefer
looked like
like the
Borderlands.
proper just cartoon stuff. It's like they're trying to transition us slowly into like the rubbish that you see on like The Last of Us or whatever. Which is like when I say rubbish, I'm not saying it doesn't look great on The Last of Us. I'm just saying we like the variety. We like seeing stuff like
Oh,
Borderlands, stuff like Sifu, and stuff like that. You know, things that are
they've
different. We don't want
they've taken
everything
away
to
the cell
look like
shading, no?
Starfield. They're not. They haven't taken it away. They've downed it.
I
They've
can
brought it
barely
down.
see it. Yeah, like
Yeah,
it's
they've brought it
barely
down.
visible.
Ah,
They've turned it into an art style, so you have to look very careful. Like, what I mean by that is that like it's it's supposed to be like almost like high graphic with a minimal cartoon, if that's making sense.
yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully they
That's
get
the
it
one
right,
thing.
man.
That's the
2025.
takeaway.
Yeah, like
There you go. Go ahead.
but yeah, see what you're saying. Like, I don't look at him like, oh, that's Borderlands. Borderlands has like a lighthearted goofiness and fun to it.
Yeah. It has a Borderlands look to it.
Is this a good thing
Right,
though?
sir?
No,
What?
I mean, in
What?
this age where we try
Answered that.
to make games more colorful and bright, and now we have a game that is colorful and bright going more dark. Isn't this what people have been complaining about? Give us
Hey,
more dark
what
games.
is up,
no,
everybody? That
We don't want
it's
that
not a
from
good
from
thing.
from we don't want that from this specific maker because they see while everyone else is posing to be bright, Borderlands was bright before it was cool. You get me?
Mhm.
Yeah. So no, we
Yeah,
want Borderlands. We want Borderlands
unlike
to stay
you,
board.
who would never bright.
Um. All right. Next, Sega set to take on Street Fighter and Tekken with Virtua Fighter.
It'll come and go. Sadly,
Yeah.
Guys,
Virtua
I'm
Fighter's
gonna get
good,
out of
but
here though. But
okay,
All right,
later,
all right,
I
later.
Matt.
appreciate.
Wait, hold on. Matt, plug your
What's up?
stuff. Tell people where they can find you, etc. etc.
Matt likes games on YouTube. Just put a video out today, like literally as the show started. So check that out if you're interested in that. Podcasts every week on the channel. Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern is the L3R3 podcast. Myself, Hard Days Mike, and it's me, Twan. Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern is the Two Player podcast with myself and Ham Solo. And then Fridays, 4 p.m. Eastern, I'm here every week to
No, you're
talk about
not.
games with these folks here.
You're here to lick.
That's where you can find me. Cozy, you shut your mouth. I'm going to get out of here. And I will talk to you
Keep
all
going,
later.
Cozy. Keep
Uh,
going, Cozy.
You
there you
know
go.
he's gonna. You don't
Yeah,
know what he does in
man.
his downtime. He leaves to lick games. He's like,
Pretty much, pretty much.
every disc,
Next,
every cartridge, his saliva.
Yakuza Like a Dragon dev RG Studio announces Project Century. I didn't see anything special there. The next big Sonic game is Sonic Racing, Crossworlds. Anyone here care for Sonic?
It's fine, but I don't
Nope.
really care about the racing games.
This one's a game I think
Turok! Woo
Ham's
woo!
gonna lose. Ham's gonna lose
I'm
his mind
excited
on
about it.
Monday.
I'm excited about it.
Please
It
tell
looks
us, Cozy.
multiplayer though. It doesn't look like it's a single player
I
game,
don't
which is
care.
why I was sort of like put off as hell.
Co-op, dinosaur hunting, Turok, yes.
The only thing that's encouraging about this is that Saber Interactive is making it, so
No,
it's gonna have
it's
some level of
co-op.
quality.
Like you single player games, we get it. You don't have friends and nobody loves you. But
Oh my god.
the rest
That's
of us
not
have
far from the truth.
people to play with.
What? Um. Yeah. It looks nice. It looks nice.
It
I,
does.
I love the unique aesthetic of like tribal painting, but technology up the
Mhm.
wazoo. That's so
I'm
weird.
excited for it. This looks to be exciting. A co-op
Ooh, they showed
monster.
gameplay.
It's like co-op Monster Hunter. It's basically Monster Hunter looking. I don't know as far as
That's
being
what
With
like
guns.
cute.
worries me is that it's gonna be shallow, like a whatchamacallit. Not even
Shut up.
Monster Hunter, but like those Capcom games that they released
As
that were
long
like
as they have good gameplay, it doesn't matter. Shallow Monster Hunter is a Capcom game, okay?
not like Monster Hunter particularly. The dinosaur game they released on Game Pass. That's
That
what this
sucked.
reminds me of.
But it was good. It sucked, but it was good.
Exo Primal, I think.
Exo
Yes,
Primal, the gameplay
exactly.
actually sucked, but it was actually good. It's hard to explain. It
All
felt
right.
like Monster Hunter, the OG Monster Hunter, because it had a ridiculous gameplay. Or OG Monster Hunter was ridiculous. But
Yeah,
I'm
this one
excited
looks
for
like
this. This looks fun.
this one could be a banger. I
Yeah,
like it.
y'all don't know anything about Turok.
All right.
N64.
Oh,
We need to keep it pushing because Ty also needs to go. Ninja Gaiden
oh,
returns as a side scroller. No, thank you.
it will fail along with Prince of Persia. Sadly,
And Virtual Fighter.
Virtua Fighter. Honestly, as much as I love it, I understand it's not gonna like. Nowadays, gamers need to be flashy and have a lot of pizzazz. If it isn't flashy and doesn't have a lot of pizzazz that they can show off to people, they don't care about it.
Yeah, my only problem with this game is the art style, but like I'm all for this. I just wish they'd kept
Ooh.
like the graphic style from like Ninja Gaiden 2, but like 2D. Like I would have liked that, but this cartoony thing is not really my style.
Slay the Spire 2, though.
That's a banger. That's a banger incoming.
Ah,
Uh,
Yodani.
what did he say? What
Prince
did
of
your Danny
Iran,
say?
modern modern audience.
Prince of Oh my lord. I can't even put you on the screen, Yodani. That's too much. The next
Spicy.
game from the developer of Sifu is an online multiplayer soccer game.
Yeah.
I saw it. I'm not impressed. Uh,
It
I
looks interesting.
I'm waiting for this to fail so I can get Sifu too. Powerwood's next expansion is Fay Break arrives this month. Dave the Diver, and that, ladies and gentlemen, was all the announcements from the Game Awards. Oh,
Woo
Jesus,
woo.
3 hours, 3 hour podcast.
I
Ty,
even put on my fancy jacket to show off for the 3 hour
you
podcast.
even did that, cause thank you so much, cause I really appreciate that. Ty, please plug your stuff. Tell people where they can find you, etc., etc. Ty, is Ty gone? I think Ty is gone.
He fell asleep.
I think Ty is gone. Oshus, plug your stuff, brother.
Oz the Wiz here on X and Xbox Players SA on Facebook.
You are a
Yeah,
fake gamer.
huh?
Nothing.
Also, no one uses X. Oshus.
Yeah.
Cozy,
We're all about that blue sky, bitch. Oh.
let's go, let's go. Cozy, plug your stuff.
Um My name is Cozy Beluga, and you can find me wherever you find Cozy Belugas. I'm starting back up doing more shit stuff next year.
Hmm.
But this year was a wrap because I had all this school stuff to do.
Which is more important. So
No, it's not. It really
good
isn't.
on you for that.
Because I changed
Good
my
on you
mind.
for that.
I'm just sticking through it because I have to because I'm not paying for it.
Okay. All right. I hope the person that's paying or the institution that's paying doesn't hear this. Thank you to everyone for coming through and chatting. Diego, Yodani, Ray Chi, who else?
I found
Sunray,
this. I don't know what it is.
Vic came through here for a bit. Ron Slasher. What is that, Cozy?
I don't know. Should I bite it?
You might as well. That's why we get the super chats, because you eat weird stuff live on the show.
I don't know what it is. It's salty though.
Um. All right. So thanks everyone for watching.
I don't know what it is at all. It's salty though.
Cozy, throw it in the bin.
Okay.
Throw it in the bin. All right. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you on Monday for everything plus gaming on TSWS.